Yo, what up, what up, what up? Y'all know the deal, man. Like and share, like and share, like and share. So we get this thing out everywhere. There's anywhere in the world could be. Just be right here with me, the BABGOG. And I appreciate you for pulling up on me. And tonight we talking about the economy. Now, everybody claim, all you do is talk shit about black women and all you do is dick and pussy and all this other shit. But whenever I do these, nobody shows up for these because all you niggas want to hear about is black women and dick and pussy. Okay. So you can't say I didn't do it. Okay, but it's just that you niggas really don't care to hear about it. You know, the faithful few that are here. Okay, shout out to y'all. Y'all are here regardless, right? My 10-4 Tuesdays crew, my people that show up regardless. But again, as soon as you niggas see me talking about something productive, right, or something that will actually be beneficial and help you in real life, you don't want to hear it. So, but hey, I'm here, right? So, chill out, man. So, listen, bro. None of this what I'm saying is financial advice, by the way. Okay, this is just an interpretation of the things going on in the economy, both locally and globally, and the implications that it could have, and that a lot of economists are saying that it's projecting. Right now, first and foremost, man, the world is broke. I told you this. Okay, we done did plenty of stuff about fiat currency, and pretty much this is what happened when you have a credit system and a debt system. Shout out to hate God niggas. This is why I hate God niggas. This is why the Bible talks about usury. All credit is usury. Okay. Whenever you lend something out to somebody and you charge them interest for it, that's usury, right? And when you don't have anything of actual value and it's assumed value, well, eventually what happens is motherfuckers make money out of thin air. And this is where the fucking snowball effect happens and you can never recover eventually. No fiat currency has survived ever. Not one. Whenever you see the collapse of any civilization and so on and so forth, it's pretty much that they got to the point where they got too much debt and they don't have actual assets behind the debt or enough capital, money, whatever, to cover it. And this is what the world is going on through now because America is, I think, is what we're at damn near, if not still in the 38, 39 trillion range. We're at $40 trillion in debt. Actually, let's pull it up. Let's see. U.S. debt calculator. U.S. debt calculator. The debt clock. Here we go. This ain't a cool one. Where's the cool one? This is not the cool one, man. Where's the cool one at? Is this a cool one? It's still not the cool one, but fuck it. But okay, here we go. We'll try to find the standard one. But as of today, the U.S. national debt is 39 trillion 830 million. Excuse me, 39 trillion 830 billion 926 million and somewhere between 900. Oh, so actually 927 million. Okay, right now and rising. Okay, there's no way to get from under this debt, bro. None. Of course. Of course. Right. And as much as they playing around with the paper, right? And again, this is not financial advice. I will be getting any and everything gold and silver related as possible, especially mining stocks. Okay. This is me, what I will be doing. This is not me giving suggestions to you. Okay. The stock market. So let's just get into it, bro. All right. The stock market, for all intents and purposes, is being held up by AI bubble. Nvidia, AMD, all of these fucking AI stocks and all these different things and so on and so forth. The problem with it though is people are coming to find out that the AI is not generating any money. I'm gonna say this again. AI, as of now, is not generating money, it's costing money. Did you know that? Did you know that all this wonderful AI shit is not making no money, it's just costing money? Oh, we're gonna talk about that too. Right? And this was like the .com bubble back in the early 2000s. Whenever you have a lot of the fucking stock market being funneled into a certain sector, that in itself is fucking, you know, and then it's being pumped with money from a lot of this stuff, you know, government funding and contracts and things from a government. So the government is paying the companies, right? The reason that the companies got the money and the stock is so fucking high, but the government is broke. What is bound to happen? There's been record losses in a lot of these stocks. Two in particular, SpaceX. Now I'm kind of kicking myself, but I was a little scared. My nuts was tight because I've never done this before, and I don't really want to. You know what I'm saying? I'm not experienced in fucking puts and shit, right? And options and whatever. But that was bound to happen, and it's gonna have another big decline as soon as they have the they got tiers in which the people that were the workers that were given the stock can sell their stock off. So SpaceX peaked somewhere around 200 plus. And since then it's dropped all the way down to, I think last time I checked, it was somewhere around I want to say the 118 range, 115, 118 range. Okay. Elon Musk went from a trillionaire to like a 750 billionaire like within a couple of days or a weekend because of the SpaceX drop. Right? MicroStrategy. The dude was like, hey man, Bitcoin is so awesome. Bitcoin is so cool. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buy all the fucking company, right? And I'm gonna back the company with Bitcoin because, you know, Bitcoin can't fail and Bitcoin is all these other things. And, you know, people were like, well, hell yeah, Bitcoin. And it was working as long as Bitcoin was going up, but now the Bitcoin's down, right? And he in a trap because if he sell the Bitcoin, because he owns so much of it. So now it's this whole thing. And then we have the private credit system. Put a one in the chat if you heard about the private credit system. So basically, these banks did the same shit they did before. They just switched the game. They just switched the capital. They just switched the way that they was doing it. Instead of doing it through subprime lending, through houses and property, now they're making bad business loans to these fucking businesses, private credit. And the shit done got so bad as to where people was like, hey, and mind you, listen, bro, please look at your 401k. I'm jumping all over the place because a lot of stuff I want to talk about, right? But a lot of things that we were told, bro, are complete and total fucking ripoffs. Especially understanding now that the dollar's been devalued by, I want to say, since the 60s or 70s, your dollar's been devalued by, I think it says upwards like 80%. Right? This is why a house costs $400,000 versus $40,000 60 years ago versus $5,000. You know what I'm saying? 80 years ago or whatever. Right? So you've lost value of your dollar. This is why the fucking price of everything is going up. And then you can't raise the fucking minimum wage or whatever. And they're telling you there's a job shortage, but the companies can't afford to hire people because people don't stop buying shit. And the Iran war done fucked shit off and really started the breakdown process a little faster, accelerated it, because now the whole world depends on oil. And oil isn't just gas. Oil is into everything from food to fertilizer to make food to it's about to be winter. So in the winter months, it's gonna be natural gas, not just what I'm saying, for oil and natural gas. A lot of different things, man. Japan being a big proponent of it because they got to have all of their fucking oil imported. So all this shit going on, bro, is almost a perfect storm for the accelerated collapse of the global economy. Global. Okay? Not just America, which America is important because America is the reserve currency. Let's get into this right here. Something I think they say hadn't happened in over 30 years.
The U.S., but very important. Stable yen is not only important for the U.S., but it's very important for the entire region because if the yen were to weaken substantially, then the other currencies would follow it. Understand that they are making serious efforts to stem the substantial undervaluation in their currency. We believe that they are going to continue to put the right policies in place that will lead the yen to get back to more of a normal equilibrium price.
Now, what they're not telling you is, I want to say Japan is 200% over their debt to GDP ratio. Let me verify right here. Japan's current debt to GDP ratio. Yes. Japan's government debt to GDP ratio ranges between 200 and 250%, depending on whether gross or net figures, specific definitions are used. This remains the highest public debt ratio in the developed world, driven by decades of economic stagnation, deflationary cycles, and rapidly aging population. Now, why is this important, people? Why is it so important, and why is America doing everything it can to try and save the yen? Does anybody know? Does anybody in chat know? Chat participation, chat participation, chat participation. And there it goes. They are the largest buyers of U.S. Treasuries. They are the largest buyers of U.S. Treasuries. Okay. So if Japan starts dumping the dollar, right, and they're the largest buyer of treasuries, and what America did was they started selling euros so they could motherfucking support the yen. And they had, I think, New York. What was the bank in New York? I think the bank in New York stepped in to actually help support it. Also, no, Japan, not China. Japan. We don't. China doesn't buy. What's the name? Japan's the largest buyer. What China been fucking dumping treasuries for years now. So now the largest buyers of the treasuries, their fucking economy is tanking to the point where like, hey man, we gotta get up out of these dollars so we can motherfucking save the yen. And America is forced to step in because if America don't step in, it fucks up the dollar. And China has been buying gold like a motherfucker. Right? See, this war, bro, it's so many different things going on, man. Motherfuckers don't understand. Right? This is an economic war. Okay? Remember, no fiat currency has remained on top for forever. America has had more than its run in its share as the reserve currency of the world, right? Shout out to Ancient Man. Appreciate you, brother, for the 10. Oil is you packaging. It's your tires. It's what will make everything expensive. This is why prepping is key to what I saw in 2017. One of my scenarios was oil going up $20 a gallon. It's bad. Yeah, man. And that's what I'm saying too. People, you need. Remember, I said this months ago. Deep freezer. You need to get you a deep freezer. You need to have you know what I'm saying, a whole bunch of dry goods, rice and beans and stuff, canned goods, all these different things, bro. Because this shit is going to get bad. And when it hits, 2008 is going to look like a discount. This will literally be the biggest transfer of wealth. And everybody was saying it was going to be that way in 2020, right? The whole you will earn nothing and you will be happy. This is it. This is the real deal, Holyfield. This is not a game. This is not a motherfucking drill. If you're not prepared and you don't have a way to get out, you're stuck and you're cooked. You're stuck and you're cooked. Well, it's not just Trump, right? So I will say this. Trump definitely fucked up. Okay. And shout out to Iran. Because Iran has pretty much, and this is another thing. Did you know this? I just heard this a couple days ago. Didn't know this. Wars are no longer fought on the ground. So this right here is bad. This is major. U.S. has used nearly all of its stockpile of long-range missiles in Iran war, sources say. Remember I told y'all how Biden was supposed to be motherfucking getting us up out of there, how Biden was point shaving? When did it start, y'all? In a major way. Remember when I told y'all fucking Biden giving weapons to fucking Ukraine was like some of the worst shit ever? The interceptor shit don't even matter, bro. And that's another thing too. The interceptors, the way that they are fighting with these small drones, you got a $12,000 motherfucking bullshit drone that you can fucking send a whole bunch of them swarm, and now you got $1 million missile to try and intercept it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That it was going to happen, but Trump is this is going to be on Trump's back because of the whole Iran shit. Well, all of that shit is crazy too. That's a lot of misinformation with the whole working for Israel shit, bro. That's going a bit far. What are you saying? Iran Contra started in 1985, bro. What are you saying though? Was that? How does that work? What am I saying wrong, or what are you saying to refute that? I understand that, but still, the timing of this and the way that Trump thought it was going to play, to where now is not working that way, and the whole world is suffering for it. And precision strike missiles, the sources said. Reuters was first to report that the U.S. has virtually all of its long-range precision missiles during Operation Epic Fury. CBS News has previously reported that the U.S. was dwindling stockpiles of defensive interceptors and long-range missiles, which has become a pressure point within the administration. And the U.S. cannot sustain the rate at which it depends precious munitions early in the war with Iran. Now, the biggest problem with this is it takes fucking months, if not years, to create a fucking long-range missile. You can't just make one of these motherfuckers overnight, bro. Okay? Shout out to Dollar Wheel in the building. When the yen was declining, Japan dropped their interest rate to 0. The world borrowed yen at 0% and purchased U.S. stocks. Now the yen is rising. The loan must be repaid. U.S. stocks will fall. Yeah, guaranteed. Well, I understand that. I understand what you guys are saying. The war has been ongoing. Yeah, but we're saying now the fever pitch or the fucking crescendo is here now. The crescendo is here now. I understand you guys saying it was that's what he's talking about 85 and 79, all these different things. Cool, fine. You know, a long overdue Cold War or whatever. Cool, fine. I got you. But right now, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's hot now. Everything before now has just been some negotiations and sanctions and a whole bunch of bullshit or whatever, la la la. Now though is the real deal, bro. At the worst possible time, because again, you're at the peak of the economy and the world being broke. And remember, when you destroy those oil refineries and those oil the wells and shit, right? Again, man, that's cutting the supply to the world. The world, Craig. So now this isn't just a right now affecting thing. When they start shutting down these fucking these refineries, because you know hold on.
Take off recording. Real more shit, man. That's why more bodies, man. Darn more bodies right now, man. That real more shit, man. G up in the building, man.
Yeah, so the whole point of it, man, hit the like button, people. Right? No, I don't think that. Yeah, Ephesians 6:12. So the problem is, right? It's it's a lot of fucking worst scenario shit happening at the same time. The world is broke. We were already down with wheat production and things that was fucked up with Russia and Ukraine, right? The natural gas shit had got fucked up when they, what was it? The Nord something. What's the fucking pipeline they bored on Nord Stream? The Nord Stream pipeline, right? They blew up. Remember how it miraculously or mysteriously got blew up way back when the Ukraine Russia shit started? Nord Stream pipeline, right? Yeah, all the shit. All that's gonna go up. Natural gas, fertilizer, food, all that stuff. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about right there, brother. That has nothing to do with anything. But anyway, oil, economy, all these different things that's going on right now. Yeah, Nord Stream. Okay, just make sure. Cool. And now America is fucking, I'm not saying vulnerable, right? Not saying vulnerable. But it's trying to scramble to be able to get the motherfucking defense systems back up and get the munitions back up. And like I said, long range missiles aren't something you make overnight. That's something that's going to take months, if not years, to make. And then in the meantime, between time, you got China buying up all the fucking gold. You got India buying up all the silver. And America's trying to scramble now to get motherfucking silver pretty much before the shit comes out the ground for the people that will agree to give it to them in Central and South America. Remember, I told you, I don't know how or why, and it was reports of they just did the what you call it, the Fort Knox, right? So allegedly, see if I can find this. Let's see.
Conspiracies that there's no gold there, or that maybe the gold had at some point been removed or replaced.
Well, you know, it's hard to believe there's no gold there. But what's very interesting about the whole thing is that in the early days of the Trump administration, there was a lot of talk about auditing Fort Knox, about going down there.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, crickets. Like no one talked about it. And so the question is why? Why were they so gung-ho about doing an audit? And then all of a sudden, it's like the forbidden topic. Nobody will even mention it. It never comes up. That's a little curious because it makes you think that maybe somebody said something to the president, like, we probably shouldn't do the audit because, you know, it's not there, or it's all not there. And that's going to be a big problem if the world knows it's not there. And it would be a big problem. So the fact that the whole thing just got buried under a big rug makes you think that there's something going on.
This is one of the positives about Bitcoin is that you can verify it though on chain.
Yes, you can verify how much nothing everybody has. Yes, that's, you know, and gold is easy to verify too, if you allow it, right? Yeah, you need an audit. But yes, I understand that if I have gold, if I have Bitcoin in my wallet, you can verify it. Now, if you have tokenized gold, you can verify that too. But again, to verify that the gold is actually behind the token, somebody does need to go in there and like count it. And, you know,
now the tokenized gold shit, remember Tether? Now, allegedly and apparently Tether is trying to tokenize gold and buying up a lot of gold. See, again, this is what China has already been doing for quite some time, years now, years. Okay. China's whole thing is like, look, America's broke. You can't trust them. They don't make shit, right? They all they do is buy shit. So why y'all still fucking with America? And now the military shit, right? These motherfuckers weak. They ain't got no motherfucking long range missiles. So hey, come shop with us. We got gold. We gonna back our shit with gold. Allegedly, right? Come fuck with us, man. All right, come get some of this yuan. America fucked up when they did the shit with Iran, and they fucked up again when they did the same shit with Russia. This is what caused the whole BRICS explosion and all of that activity, because motherfuckers like, hold on, man. You mean to tell me just because we beefing, I got money with you, and now you get to motherfucking steal hundreds of billions of dollars because I'm doing some shit you don't want me to do? All right, don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. We'll just go fuck with some other shit. We'll make our own. And when you got countries that are proposing, right, gold-backed fucking currency again, to where it's actually something behind the money, not just we can motherfucking bully and take what the fuck we want to, for the first time in forever, that's extremely problematic.
Somebody reputable. So yeah, that is one of the things that is good about Bitcoin and interesting about it, is that you could verify it. But I said, look, you're verifying how much nothing I have. So what, when people say, oh, look how easy it is to transport Bitcoin. Yeah, because you're transporting nothing. It's not hard to transport. In fact, Bitcoin doesn't actually get transported. Bitcoin doesn't go anywhere. One wallet has it and now another. It's not like the Bitcoin goes from my wallet to yours. The Bitcoin doesn't go anywhere. It's just, we just changed the wallet address that's assigned to that Bitcoin. But if you're dealing in nothing, then yes, it's easy to transport it. Gold is real. It has substance. And so, yes, you do have to transport it. But the beauty of tokenized gold is there. I don't have to move the gold. See, most people, when you're using gold as money, as opposed to using gold, in industry, you don't actually need the gold. You just need to own the gold, and you need to be able to transfer that ownership to whoever you're doing business with. And so when you tokenize gold, that improves gold as a means of exchange. It makes it even better than it was in the past, because I don't have to give you my gold. I just have to give you the proof that I own the gold. And the minute I give it to you, now you own that gold. Now, if you actually need the gold for some reason, you could get it. If you decide to become a jeweler and you want some gold, you could actually go get your gold. But if you don't need the gold, you can use the gold to buy something that you do need. And the person who's selling you that will take your gold.
But what do you think about your son buying Bitcoin, though?
But he's not buying it anymore. I mean, he bought some years ago, but he's completely lost interest in Bitcoin.
How did that affect your relationship with him? Because I saw you called him brainwashed
he was
for buying Bitcoin.
He was brainwashed. I mean, look, all the young kids, I get into these debates. I had another one just yesterday, I think, with Anthony Scaramucci. And they always like to say, look, it's the young kids, yes, all the old people in our generation, we're buying gold. But, it's the young generation, the kids who are buying Bitcoin. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. But I'm not going to take my investment advice from a bunch of kids. Kids make mistakes. They're new, they're young, they don't have the experience, they don't have the wisdom. And they're making a lot of mistakes buying Bitcoin. Now, when a lot of the 20-somethings, grow up and they're my age, they'll know better. And one of the reasons they'll know better is they'll remember how much money they lost with Bitcoin. And the best time to lose money is when you're young.
Did your son make or lose money on Bitcoin?
He made money, but he's pretty much sold the Bitcoin that he had. But he did make money in it, yeah.
Would you rather have 1 Bitcoin right now or 1 ounce of gold, but 100% you had to hold on to both for 5 years?
Oh, well, obviously, if I had to hold on to them both for 5 years, I think the ounce of gold will be worth more. But obviously, if I could sell right now, I would take the Bitcoin. I would immediately sell it. But maybe if you gave me that Bitcoin, I could find a way to hedge it somehow. I could short something or get some kind of derivative instrument. Because yes, there is a high market price right now. Bitcoin is 6,000, and gold's only 5,000. But Bitcoin is going to continue to lose value relative to gold. Eventually, it won't have any value whatsoever. But I no longer think Bitcoin is going to zero anytime soon. I get that there's enough people in the cult now that will buy it and will ascribe some value to it. But let's say Bitcoin just falls to $1,000, which I think is still a lot of money for nothing. But if Bitcoin falls to $1,000, it's certainly a long way from zero. But if you bought it at $100,000, that's not going to be much of a consolation. Well, it's not zero.
Yeah, man, listen. Listen, man. the whole Bitcoin shit, and like I said, we'll use this to segue into the whole strategy thing. And the old people, I guess, having the last laugh because Bitcoin ever get into the millions of whatever shit they was talking about, it's grim now. Okay, extremely grim because in essence, all Bitcoin is fucking digital fiat. Again, there's nothing behind it. Right? Now, I guess you could say that for most, but not all of fucking crypto, because certain cryptos are going to be used, as you guys, I saw you guys want y'all to understand, to replace the Swift system. The Swift system is another thing that's fucking everything up because it's too slow, it's too costly. So what's going on right now is they're trying to get the whole digital dollar, which is going to be a thing too, right? Trying to get all the rails put in place to get over from the Swift system to the new fucking digital blockchain system. And we all know the crypto of choice for that, right? It's just being very slow. And that shit is, man, that shit right there, bro, is like pulling teeth because they're trying to fucking force everybody out, bro. No one saw the shit coming with Bitcoin, right? And Bitcoin was supposed to be, you know, all this great shit or whatever, right? But Bitcoin was just a store of value and pretty much that's it. This shit coming up next is actually going to be a utility, right? So that within itself is going to be the fucking value. Okay. Yeah, man. Listen, let me get y'all super chats. Shout out to Ancient Man. My bad. Shout out to Aaron, to Lucas. Appreciate you, brother, for the 2. Oil is used to make every plastic. Shout out to Ancient Man again for another 5. The Swift system will Swiss cheese the dollar. It's bad. Well, it's already doing that, bro. Ain't nothing but some money. Hey, man. Smart guy, man. You know what I mean? Take your profits, people. That's all I'm going to say. Take your profits.
Okay, but you lost 99% of your money. I mean, even if you lost the last 1% at that point, it wouldn't be that big a deal. So I think for all practical purposes, for most people who own Bitcoin, it may as well be going to zero. They're going to lose almost all of their money.
What is your son investing in now? I heard he's getting big into AI.
That's it, right? He's not investing in anything. I guess he's just investing in his career or trying to work. But yeah, he's very much into AI. And he was into gold. He was into gold and silver before he got into Bitcoin. And so he lost interest in gold and silver when he discovered Bitcoin. And then he lost interest in Bitcoin when he got into AI. Because he kind of thinks that, look, AI is going to lead to such massive efficiencies and production that prices are going to collapse because everything is going to be virtually free. So he doesn't think there's any reason to have an inflation hedge because everything's going to be so cheap in the future.
Do you agree with him, or what do you think?
Well, I do agree that in the future, things will be a lot cheaper and a lot more abundant. He just thinks the future is years away, like 1, 2, 3 years away. I don't think that it's going to happen that quickly. Even though what's happening with AI and the technology is certainly evolving very quickly and it's getting a lot better very fast, I don't see that it's able to translate into that kind of productivity in that short a period of time. I think it's just going to take more like decades, not years. And but I think there will be some benefits in the near term, just not to the degree that he seems to believe.
And really quick, I gotta say, something that Jack and I have been trying to do a lot more lately is just to remove the annoyances that quietly waste time and energy, because those things add up fast. The thing is, we're always on the go, we're always trying to get to the next thing, so having a cleaner setup and a little more control in your day really goes a long way, and that is exactly why we absolutely love MagBack. The MagBack Elite case is so much more than just a case. It has the finger loop for a secure grip, side grips that feel great, a pinky pillow for comfort, and a built-in kickstand when you need it.
That is all built to make everyday use way better. And it also just comes with a screen protector, so that's one less thing that you have to worry about.
Then they also have their MagBack 3.
Okay, y'all, that's done. All right, cool. All right, now speaking of fucking Bitcoin, this guy right here, okay, done fucked up. Okay, this guy right here done fucked up big. And you might be looking at Buddy facing a motherfucking federal lawsuit here soon.
$1.28 billion of its own stock in July. It bought 0 Bitcoin, not one. Strategy sold $1.28 billion of its own stock in July. It bought 0 Bitcoin, not one Satoshi. The largest corporate holder of Bitcoin.
Shout out a $500 fine. Wait till they stop making your vehicle size tire. Well, not just that, bro. So listen, everything is going to this fucking remember I told you, remember when I reported on my last 10-4 Tuesdays, I think it was, bro, everything is going to be on a subscription service, dog. The Mandela effect and all this shit we're talking about, to where everything's going to be digital. So, bro, do you know the value of a CD or DVD or what the shit is going to be later on? People, get real copies of shit. 1984 did not lie. Get Fahrenheit 451, man. Listen, get real copies of shit, people. Okay? Once everything is digitized, it will only be what the fucking government and the people controlling shit want it to be. Okay? All right? But yeah, this motherfucker right here, bro. Yo, what up?
On the planet spent the month raising money from shareholders and putting none of it into the asset the entire company exists to hold. There is a glossary entry on strategy.com dated July 23rd that explains how the company can call that a good quarter. I'll show it to you. It runs 2 sentences. Look at the market table. Week of June 29, nothing. Week of July 6, 4,818,781 shares of MSTR, or $466.7 million. Week of July 3.
Come on, that's why I say he's in a trap, bro. He can't do anything. He can't do shit. Because the fucking company is so fucking, he has so much Bitcoin in the company that if he fucking sells Bitcoin, he crashes Bitcoin, and that in turn motherfucking crashes the stock. Shout out to West M for the 10. Appreciate you, brother. Fantastic. You're also forgetting that that China has almost a $60 trillion debt bubble in home ownership. Over 70% of all Chinese people have all their wealth in home ownership. Appreciate you, brother. Well, hey, Wes, what people don't understand is, bro, China can't be trusted, bro. China reports their own numbers, dog. China supports their own numbers. China reports their own numbers. All the economy shit, which none of that shit can be trusted, bro. They people on the inside of China was reporting to where they was doing all of this construction. They were doing all of these fucking skyscrapers and all these buildings and shit, right? What do you call it? What's the name? Real estate. Why can't they think of the term right now? Not fucking personal, but like the industrial real estate. What's the word I'm looking for, y'all? Yeah, go cities. All that shit got to be torn down, bro. They ain't got nothing to put in it. Commercial real estate. Appreciate you, bro. That's what I said, big boy. Yeah, commercial real estate. Building up all this commercial real estate, bro, to make it look like they had shit going on, and it's nothing they can do with it. Yeah, all of them books, man. All of those books. I still got to read Atlas Shrugged. I read Fahrenheit 454, Brave New World, and 1984. I didn't know they had movies for those though. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. That's like, listen, that's motherfuckers, but you know, everybody want to be a communist and suck China's dick. So, you know.
13, 2,732,318 shares, or $263.5 million. Week of July 20, 5.4 million shares and $544.5 million. Through all 4 of those weeks, the Bitcoin position never moved. 843,775 coins. That is 4.02% of every Bitcoin that will ever exist, sitting completely still while the company sold stock every single week. $975 million is now authorized to buy back Strategy's own preferred stock, and 288,930 shares of that are already repurchased at $86.53. The USD reserve climbed from $3 billion to $3.75 billion in 2 weeks. And on July 23rd, 8 days before I record this, the company changed the definition of the number of investors used to judge all of it. On June 29, Strategy put its rule in writing. It would sell Bitcoin whenever management determined that it was more advantageous than issuing Class A common stock. It sold Bitcoin at a 20% loss that same week. 3 weeks later, it was issuing common stock every week. That glossary entry says this. Prior to July 23, 2026, the company's use of the term MNAV referred to a different metric. So references to the company's MNAV calculated prior to that date are not compatible to the company's MNAV calculated after that date. Strategy's own website says Strategy's own historical numbers no longer describe the same thing. This is the second time the company has done that. I'm Dana Love, PhD. 4 things I'll prove today. Strategy raised $1.28 billion from shareholders in July and put none of it into Bitcoin. The filings say exactly where it went instead. The company is not accumulating right now. It is repairing the price of its own preferred stock so that it can sell more of that preferred stock later, and last night its founder said so on tape. The number everyone uses to judge Strategy has now been defined 3 separate ways, and every version is printed higher than the version it replaced. And the metric that justified this entire strategy for 6 years is falling right now by their own numbers. I've covered this company 3 times this summer. In June, I told you exactly what to watch for in these filings. Part of what I told you was wrong, and I'll show you that too. Let's get forensic. The last time Strategy bought a Bitcoin was June 22nd. It bought 520 coins. That's the entire purchase. Since then, 5 straight weeks of nothing. I want to walk the table with you because the shape of it matters more than any single row. The week of June 20.
Hey, that's what's gonna come up with the food shortage. That's what I'm telling y'all, man. Them 20-pound bags of rice at motherfucking at Costco and Sam's and BJ's. You better be stacking up, bro. All right, while all you niggas was out here buying them damn pineapples. All right, I hope you are. This shit's gonna get ugly, bro. Real bad. Real bad, bro. Real bad, real fast.
Through July 5, Strategy sold nothing at all. No common stock, no preferred, no Bitcoin. Completely dark. That was the week right after it sold 3,588 coins at roughly 20% below its own average cost to cover preferred dividends. Then, July 6 through July 12, 4,818,781 shares of MSTR common, which is $466.7 million in net proceeds. July 13 through July 19, 2,732,318 shares, $263.5 million. July 20 through July 26, 5,429,160 shares worth $544.5 million. A machine that had gone completely dark it came back on, and it ran at roughly $500 million a week. And the Bitcoin holdings across every one of those weeks, 843,775, 843,775, 843,775, flat as a table. Now, Strategy has an answer to this, and it's a fair one, so let's hear it from the man who gave it. Phong Le is Strategy's president and chief executive officer, and this is him on last night's earnings call.
We continue to be net buyers of Bitcoin and net issuers of Stretch. We want to be the largest buyer of Bitcoin in the world and the biggest issuer of digital credit in the world. And year to date, 2026, we have proven to be just that. We bought 174,895 Bitcoin year to date 2026. We sold 3,620 Bitcoin during that same period of time. We bought 48x more Bitcoin than we sold, and we increased our Bitcoin 25%.
48-1. That's real, and I'm not going to wave it away. Year to date, Strategy is the largest corporate buyer of Bitcoin in the world by a wide margin, exactly as he says. But hold his window next to mine. His number covers the first 6 months. Mine covers the last 5 weeks. And in the last 5 weeks, the ratio is not 48-1. It is 0 to 0, with $1.28 billion raised in between. Now, both of these are true. Only one of them tells you what the company is doing right now. If you watched my video on the June filings, you know why this combination is strange. Strategy wrote its own rule down on June 29th. It would sell Bitcoin when management determined that it was more advantageous than issuing Class A common stock. And by that rule, in that week, selling coins at a 20% loss was the better option. 3 weeks later, issuing common stock is the better option. every week at scale. The stock did not rescue itself in between. MSTR traded at $94.64 on July 11. It is $90.45 as I record. It went down. So the rule did not flip because the price got better. Something else moved. Two places to look. Neither one is on the blockchain. If this kind of filing work is useful to you, please subscribe. Look at what they bought with it. 288,000.
So that's that shit. All right. Now,
Investors seeking to pull $16 billion from private credit funds in the second quarter. That marks an acceleration from the first quarter at $14 billion. Tony Chutrone, the global head of private markets at Neuberger, said those redemptions are not over. And he said investors kind of feel misled by all the marketing.
I don't see the redemption stopping. There's a lot of negative press. Retail investors watch the press. They react to it. I think, look, I think that these retail funds were sold as semi-liquid.
Chutrone saying the fundamentals of private credit remain strong with low defaults and strong earnings. And investors benefit from being diversified in privates as public markets remain highly concentrated. But he said performance between managers is widening with many set to underperform. Now, for Tony's tips on how to pick the strongest managers and how to avoid the losers, that's the most important. You can sign up for the Inside Alts newsletter at cnbc.com/Inside Alts. That is out this morning. He gives a lot of good tips. They call it dispersion, basically the idea that the performance difference between those at the top and those at the bottom is widening. So it's more important than ever to know what to look for and what to ask when you're picking one of these managers.
listen, man, this private credit shit out of hand. They told these fucking companies. They told the companies now, not to mention the people. Now, another thing that's happening. Remember I talked about the 401k earlier? They're fucking packing your 401k with these fucking bad deals they did on private credit. And what makes it even worse is that insurance companies, this is why insurance is so fucking high. The insurance companies are fucking pretty much betting on fucking banks and using the fucking banks to motherfucking buy the fucking bad private credit motherfucking deals. Everything is high right now, bro, because of fucking crony capitalism and motherfuckers at the top being too fucking greedy. This is why I say when this shit happens this time, bro, it should not be near bailout. If it dies, it dies. If it don't survive, it don't survive. Okay. I think there's going to be a big consolidation, right? A lot of these smaller companies are going to go away, but being that it's going to be a major shift, right? Or shift from the old system to the fucking digital system. Too late.
We bank a lot of them. They're clients of ours, but they're not all good. And the problem in financial market, it could be good owners. It could be a good thing. And the fact you can stay private for long is probably a good thing. The fact you can raise private capital in your private company is probably a good thing. The fact that you can just, so that's all good. But not all the people doing it are good. And so I think some of these people are brilliant. I mean, so I know them all. We bank a lot of them. They're clients of ours, but they're not all good. And the problem in financial markets is often caused by the not good one, the people who make the mistakes, and that you have liquid products. Maybe they're not properly marked. They have not been stress tested. You know, do people really fully understand what I said about interest rates affecting what these things are worth? Do they? And if a little old lady finds out that she can't get her money back, and there may have been disclosure there saying, you know, this money's locked up for 5 years, but you know what? Retail clients tend to circle the block and call their senators and congressmen, and there could be hell to pay. They could be good owners. It could be a good thing. And you know, the fact you can stay private for long is probably a good thing. The fact you can raise private capital in your private company is probably a good thing. The fact that you can get, so that's all good. But not all the people doing it are good. And so I think some of these people are brilliant. I mean, so I know them all. We bank a lot of them. They're clients of ours, but they're not all good. And the problem is,
What else is suffering? Oh, my bad, my bad. What else is suffering? The car market. Bro, don't buy no motherfucking car, bro. Do not buy a car right now, especially a new car. You'll be a motherfucking fool, bro. Do not buy a motherfucking new car right now. 401k is cooked, bro. Yeah, listen. 401k is fucking cooked. The whole that shit right there is another one of the worst finesses they ever did. Especially understanding now that shit, what are they saying? By the next 10, 20 years, Social Security is done. And the value of the dollar just keeps going down more and more and more. 400k is not going to be, 401k ain't going to be shit, bro. Nothing. Yeah, don't buy a house now either. Now is not the time to buy a house. I forget where I was. We were having this conversation. People are, oh, man, you know, well, anytime's a good time to buy a house. But no, the fuck it's not. No, the hell it's not. Now it's not. Now is the worst fucking time to buy a house. If your ass renting or you roommating or whatever the fuck you can do right now, bro, do not buy no motherfucking house, bro. Because when this shit drops, and it will drop, bro. All right. And I told people, if I were you, okay, this is not financial advice, and you have equity in your home, I would definitely motherfucking get that shit out as soon as possible, bro. If you sitting on equity in your fucking house right now, right, and you know, to say, of course, save your interest rate, get you a HELOC and do something, bro. Because when this shit hit, bro, it's gonna hit. I don't think it's right around the corner. I don't think it's whatever, but when this shit falls, bro, this shit is going to be unprecedented, man. Nobody's going to be doing nothing. It's going to be really bad. It's going to be really bad, bro. Simply because, again, you had the fucking recession in 2008. They didn't let the fucking cycle go. They didn't let it go through its natural cycle. Let things happen the way it's supposed to happen. They did QE, run it up, right? And then the same shit happened again in 2020. So instead of fucking at least in 2020 letting the shit happen, right? Same shit, print more money, give out more money, and now we're here. Please, people, if you don't listen to nothing else I'm telling you, get that deep freezer, fill up that pantry. You know what I'm saying? Start getting you some little gas here and there.
In 2026, the auto industry in the US is expected to sell about 1.5 million fewer units than it did when the industry hit record sales about a decade ago. According to some, this isn't a temporary slump. It's the beginning of a structural decline. Annual US car sales could fall to 13.7 million units by 2040. Demographics, technology, and changing behavior all point to a permanent shift.
It is the perfect storm, isn't it? It starts with population declines. You're no longer a growth industry. You're a declining industry at a time when the technology is disrupting everything.
There are a few factors that together could result in about 2 million fewer US new car sales by 2040. First, population. US population growth has slowed and at this point depends entirely on immigration. If immigration policies tighten, the auto market is bound to stagnate or shrink. Second, consumer behavior. About half of 16-year-olds are not even getting driver's licenses.
When I was 16, everybody was waiting for the day their birthday came around to run down to the DMV and get their license. So that is definitely a factor and a trend that is impacting this.
By age 25, most people do have a license, but they're confronted with vehicle prices that are too high, which keep them out of the car market. For Sam Fiorani of Auto Forecast Solutions, the primary threat to vehicle volumes is price.
We're still seeing groups of young people who enjoy driving and want a new car, but fewer can afford it. You need the younger people, the less wealthy people of us to start buying new vehicles.
Not necessarily by the end of the year, but definitely with the oil and all the things that are happening, it's definitely going to be some major shit that happens by middle of next year. The whole oil crisis and the oil shortage, bro, we're not seeing the little shit we're seeing, shifts and shit we're seeing right now. It's nothing because the real effects hadn't fucking settled in yet. Months from now and like a year from now, it's gonna be inevitable.
Third, technology. Auto industry forecaster Mark Godfredson said that if autonomous vehicle tech improves enough to become mainstream, the share of the population with driver's licenses could drop by about 2 to 3% by 2040. Autonomous vehicles could also stand to reduce the number of cars per driver. Historically, that has been about 1.2.
We expect that, in the next 10 years or so to drop to about 1.1 vehicles per driver.
Perhaps the most direct indicator is not the rate at which people buy cars, it's the rate at which they get rid of them.
This is the one that people don't think about, but is actually the biggest factor in the number of new vehicles that are sold.
In 2000, about 6% of all cars were deregistered in any given year. That's basically a vehicle that's no longer getting registered because it's getting scrapped or sent out of the country. And those cars needed to be replaced with new ones sooner or later. By early 2026, that fell to about 5%. Godfredson estimates it could drop to 4.4 by 2040. Old cars are lasting longer, a record 12.8 years on the road in 2025. New cars are safer and more sophisticated, but that technology carries a price.
Collision avoidance, ADAS systems, all kinds of new technologies that weren't even dreamt of 15 years ago are now becoming standard on everything. So we're going to see those vehicles continue to be more expensive and more people trying to find ways to keep their car on the road longer.
As with all forecasts, things could change. An EV tech breakthrough could spur a boom in vehicle sales. The US could dramatically liberalize its immigration policy. Robotaxis could be a long way off. Godfredson's research does include a base case of about 15.7 million new car sales in 2040, which is slightly below S&P Global Mobility and Cox Automotive forecasts for 2026. This case assumes licensing rates remain stable, immigration stays at about 900,000 people per year, population growth is about 0.3 to 0.4% year over year, and there's about 1.2 cars per person. Up until recently, Godfredson expected this structural demand decline to hit as soon as 2030, but the rollout of new technology, especially self-driving cars, is taking longer than many in the industry had forecast.
I think our perspective on autonomy and sort of vehicle shedding has probably gone a little bit slower than we had anticipated, and so it may be a little bit later that we get there.
We've been listening to companies tell us that they're going to have autonomous vehicles in 5 years for 15 years now.
But the birth rate variable is locked in.
We already know how many people have been born and how many people will be of vehicle driving age at age 16 in 16 years from now. And so we can say with quite a bit of certainty that when we get to 2040, we're going to see some decline in the US. That decline is even.
So now, listen, it's telling you birth rate, right? And the effects of that shit. This 16 years from now, so 20 years from now, right? It's on and so forth. All this shit, man, is this shit a little scary, bro. Okay? It's a little scary. Well, yeah, people can't afford kids, but and the only people having kids is poor people. They don't give a fuck, and they let everybody else take care of them.
And worse in places like Europe and in places like most of the countries in Asia now.
At the global level, there are some caveats. First, many markets, most notably China, that might be poised for a population drop, still have relatively low vehicle penetration. but populations in dozens of countries are already shrinking, and global growth is slowing faster than expected. If immigration continues to boost the US population, it will be an increasingly important market for global automakers trying to compensate for stagnation and decline in other parts of the world.
The competition in the US is going to be ferocious. And I think that there's too many automakers and too many brands competing for the consumers.
Auto Forecast Solutions is expecting annual US volumes to stagnate through 2033, the furthest year in the future for which the company makes forecasts.
The market.
CarMax is getting fucking slaughtered right now too, by the way, if you didn't know. I'm trying to find this other one. One other used car market just went bankrupt. I fucking had it, bro, and I can't. It's a fucking used car company, not CarMax. CarMax is getting hit in the head, but it's one that just filed for bankruptcy because they went through it was one of the private credit deals. I think it's USA something. USA. Let me see. Used car company with USA in the name. No. Let's see. Roseman Road. U.S. Auto Sales Inc. There it goes. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. I'll give me a little second. No, that's not it. That's not it. Yeah, no, here it goes. Hold on. This is right here. Client. What is this? Here we go. Let me drop the link, man, in case y'all want to come up. Oh, our computer been so fucking slow, bro. Shit pissed me off. U.S. Auto Sales Inc., a car dealer that catered to consumers regardless of their credit history, quietly filed bankruptcy late last month as more Americans fall behind on their car payments. The company listed assets and liabilities as much as $100 million each in its bankruptcy petition filed in Delaware. U.S. Auto filed for chapter. For chapter what? I am not finna pay y'all for this shit. Definitely not finna pay y'all. So why if they had problems then, why the hell would they even cut them another loan, bro? This how you know the shit was bullshit. Oh my bad. Hold on. Big boy, appreciate you, brother. Shout out to Big Boy for the 5. We printed 40% of our money in the last 6 years of our country's existence, on top of the 40 trillion in debt, a trillion of debt. Can't kick this can down the road. Yeah, no, it's over with, bro. Yeah, you can't move this one again. Like I said, the next one will be the last one for the monetary system that we all know. You have to put automated driver covers on your antique cars, huh? How? What sense does that make? How? Is that another thing they're adding as to where? Oh shit! I almost died. Are they adding that something as another coverage that you have to have for automated cars? No, not Carvana. CarMax. CarMax is getting slammed, bro. CarMax is getting fucking rammed. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. That would be crazy. But then too, again, man, I don't put nothing past these. Bro, insurance is the biggest scam of all time. All the insurances, bro. Health insurance, motherfucking car insurance, phone insurance, nigga. All these insurances is big ass scams. Shit is ridiculous, bro. Oh, okay. Home insurance, all this shit scams, bro. Because remember, listen, was it Hawaii or was it California? Remember wherever they just had the fires at? Them motherfuckers pulled the fucking fire coverage, man, from those places, you know, mysteriously months before you had a major motherfucking wildfire out there in Cali. And I want to say, what's the name too? Hey, they fixing that down here in good old Florida, man. They're gophing there trying to get it out there before he get out of office. Shout out to Mayo Monkey for the 20 ball. Appreciate you, brother. Keep up the good work. The more people who prepare now means less people to fight in the future. I'm telling y'all, man, please, people, please, man. If you don't listen to shit I tell you, bro, take your ass, order that motherfucking deep freezer, okay? Stack it up with some meat, okay? No pause, and start getting rice, beans, dry goods, canned goods. Start doing that shit, bro. Telling you, because once this shit start hitting, man. Oh, and of course ammo too. Ammo. I gotta stock up on fucking ammo. Ammo and fucking what's the name, man? Water, all that shit, dog. I'm telling you, because I'm not saying it's gonna be on some Mad Max and Thunderdome shit, but when shit gets scarce, bro, you can't put shit past people. Okay? When shit gets scarce, you can't put shit past humans, man. Motherfuckers will do anything to survive, bro. And if the price of the things are too high, you know what I'm saying? To the point of where you don't even want to be out in that shit, man. For real. You don't even want to be out. Yeah, shout out to Dollar Wheel too. Yeah, start growing some shit too, man. I'm finna get me some flower pots, and you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, start growing some shit, bro. Yeah, learn water filter, learn how to filter your water, all that shit. Cause shit's gonna be so expensive, bro. And like I said, a lot of people, if you don't have the fucking basis of the new currency, you fucked, bro. If all you got is in dollars, and the dollar, you know what I'm saying? Niggas talking about weed is crazy. Telling you, man. Motherfucking XRP is like at $1 now. They running that shit down. They trying to drag that bitch down to probably 80 something, 75 cents or something. Just get everybody out. But that's gonna be the fucking rails, bro, for the new system. Look it up. If you listen to the news and all the shit that they're doing, right, for the rails of the new fucking digital system, bro. And because they done had it flat and they done had it fucking, you know what I'm saying? But if you listen to and you look at the volume and the shit, how it's getting bought, somebody's buying it. And it's definitely not the regular people right now. And if somebody's buying it, it's for a reason. If Bitcoin's not being bought and shit's not doing nothing with Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's steady going down, and then telling you something. But then too, like you said, precious metals. So your mining stocks for gold and silver, gold specifically, right now, be on the lookout and paying attention to those, because they got to raise gold up. And what one of the attempts of the assumed or proposed attempts to get up out of this is to fucking revalue the price of gold, right? So if you revalue the price of gold and you have enough gold, right, now we can just fucking pay the debt down with the gold we have. Stocks is cooked right now though. XRP. That's what I'm saying. Stocks right now, man. It's all being held up by a few fucking major stocks, man. And the shit going on with SpaceX is diabolical. Yo, what up, man? You on mute?
Yeah, I was just shutting off the other stream. Yeah, they already did this once back in 33 with gold, right?
Yeah.
And then tried it the next year with silver.
They did it again when Nixon took it off.
Yeah.
Pretty much said, nah, motherfucker, we ain't got it. We ain't got it. You can't come get no more. So we shutting it down.
Oh, yeah. France took what, like 10 years to repatriate all their gold? I think.
Yeah.
They were one of the first ones to pull out.
Yep. Man, and like I said, man, China's been buying it up for the last 5-7 years or so. Wasn't banks too. But remember, so before when we had the peak of gold early at the beginning of the year, banks were betting big on gold. Banks were buying a whole bunch of gold, and actually for the first time saying you should have X amount of your portfolio in gold.
Well, and when it hit 5,500 or almost 5,500, they were buying more than ever.
Yeah.
So they weren't concerned about the price. They just want the product.
Exactly.
Because they know what's coming.
Shout out to Big Boy. Appreciate you, brother, for the two. The fire started in Maui, Hawaii. The fire started in Maui, Hawaii first, remember? Yep. Yeah, that's why I thought it was both, because I know they pulled insurance coverage from both. That was some crazy shit.
Yeah, they just said, yeah, we're not going to market here anymore. So now your insurance is canceled.
Which is fucking to be the worst shit ever, bro. I don't even understand how but this is why I say that you gotta have fucking term limits on Congress, because the only way these companies get to do this shit is all the congressmen and senators are fucking bought and paid for.
Well, for the ones in California, I kind of can't blame the companies because the state won't manage the forest properly. They won't let anybody go in and clear out the forests. And because of that bark beetle, they've got thousands of acres of just dead trees. And it's just
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can't even clear brush from a forest floor in California.
Oh damn. That's
So
a
all that-
state rule?
Yeah. All that fall, all those branches falling, all the leaves, all the needles just piles up for years until something sparks it off. That's the problem they're having in Washington State right now, is nobody's been able to log in Washington State since they closed it down to protect the owl back in the 80s, early 90s. Killed an entire region of Washington's economy to protect the bird.
That's fucking crazy.
A bird that disappeared anyway.
They still ended up going extinct?
Pretty much. It ain't grown, so it wasn't humans that were hurting it. It's just mostly bad environmental policy.
Well, you know, fucking California is perfect for that shit.
Oh yeah, because if you can't do controlled burns to burn off what's on the forest floor, that shit's just going to build up to real fire territory. Because normally, fire goes through a forest floor, doesn't hurt much. But when you got 2 or 3 feet of tinder sitting on top of the ground, that just starts climbing trees.
Shout out to Detroit XRP 313. Appreciate your brother. Nancy Pelosi has $300 million got from the stock market after she retires, but Congress is not talking about that. Of course not. Of course they're not going to talk about it.
Ain't nothing but some money.
And
What up, Truck? What's going on?
Yeah.
Good evening. How are you?
I can't complain, man. What's up? You back? You still
So
in?
I
you-
just no. Right now it's 10:26. I'm in New York, back in New York, right? And I've
Okay.
got jet lag, so I couldn't sleep. And I'm up here and I'm building Amazon furniture that I bought because I can't sleep. So
Okay.
yeah. So what are we talking about? We're talking about stocks and investments. Is that what we're talking about here?
Yeah, stocks, investments, economy overall, the whole private credit collapse and all this bullshit, all the shit that's going on, bro, that's got the economy fucked up.
Well, good. So let me ask this question first, so I can get my my victory lap. How you feeling about the bitcoins now?
Now again, man, hey man, you was right. You was right, bro. Again, like I said, it's and I talked about a micro strategy bullshit too. So the micro strategy finesse to where Buddy pretty much backed the whole company in that. So but I mean, if you got in, Truck, I mean, you won. But if you bought after, I'll say anything after 50,000, you cook.
Well, see, here's the thing, and I kept trying to tell people this. The scary thing to me about Bitcoin was, first of all the bullshit that they were promising. I never believed in any of it. You remember they were saying, oh yeah, Bitcoin's going to be anonymous and the government has no idea who's who and all that. I never believed in any of that. Then you find out that the government itself has access to all the information. And not only that, they force you to file a 1099-K if you buy into Bitcoin. So if you try to lie about it, you're going to get audited. And they already know any transaction that gets made. They pretty much know who makes it. So all of those things can be tracked back to these people's seed phrases in their wallets. But the bottom line is, and I don't like to get stuck in all that stuff, I kept telling people, yeah, Bitcoin will go up, but the problem is, unless you keep putting money into it, it's just a Ponzi scheme. So the people who got in early can't even sell, because if they sell, they'll crash the market on themselves. So Imagine you're somebody who got in very, very early, right? And you bought thousands of dollars of Bitcoin when Bitcoin was only a couple of cents. Those people may be billionaires, but they left the country. They went to Puerto Rico. They bought houses where you're not taxed, but they can't sell because if they sell, they'll crash the market on themselves. What they're waiting for are new people to put money in so that they can cash out. But now the problem is, if you're the new money, now you have to wait because you can't cash out until you become them. So SpaceX was the same shit.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
Understand something. Let me just sum it up like this. All of these new IPOs, and I think you're seeing it with OpenAI too. The whole point of an IPO, taking a public company public, the whole point is that you prove that this company makes a profit. And when you take them public, what you're doing is you're saying this is a profitable company and I want to go public and I want to make lots of money for everybody, right? What they're doing with these SPACs and IPOs is they're getting the early investors to give them money. And then when it becomes apparent that they have to launch that IPO in order to give those early investors back their money, then they do what SpaceX did. They talk up this IPO as if this is God, and they need you to pay into it. And as soon as you pay into it, shit drops. It happened with Coinbase, happened with Robinhood, happened with SpaceX. Everybody is left holding these bags, and SpaceX is not profitable. The only part of SpaceX that's profitable is Starlink, and that's it. There's no profit in space exploration. That's the reason why they never did it. So my thing is, I always push people. I was like, listen, buy oil, credit cards, buy banks, and buy dividend-paying stocks, right? But nobody wanted to hear that. Everybody's trying to get rich fast. But now they're sitting back. Now they're sitting back looking at negative balance sheets on that Bitcoin. It's just that simple.
Oh yeah, you got to get in early to really make the big money off of stocks. You got to get in early and cheap. I mean, look at all the people who became millionaires because of Dell Computers.
Oh,
they were all employees that got stock as a part of their benefit package.
But one thing about employees that get paid in stock, the reason why companies like to do that is because instead of paying them in cash, if you pay them in stock, it helps your bottom line because now people are looking.
Oh yeah, that's what companies are buying their own stock for now.
Buy their stock back. But the problem is, it doesn't make sense to buy your stock back if you're losing money as a company. It only makes sense to buy it if you're like super rich.
No, that's what MicroStrategy is doing because they ain't got no fucking choice. Like I said, they can't sell the Bitcoin, so they got to sell the stock.
Yeah, no. But the problem is with MicroStrategies. See, this is the problem. What they've been trying to do is they've been trying to force cryptocurrency to be legitimate. And in order to do that, they've had to tie it with real money. So what they've been trying to do is they've been trying to get idiots to put pension funds in this shit. That's exactly what they did with MBS products, mortgage-backed securities. And that's the reason why you had that market crash in 2008. So the problem is they're trying to legitimize this shit by putting so much money into it that it becomes too big to fail. The reality is that all those cryptocurrencies that, of course, this president and his family will hawk in, all that. You remember how they talk, oh, we're going to have a Bitcoin ledger, and you're going to have Cardano, it's going to be this and that, and they were talking about all these bullshit meme coins. The problem is some of these people believe that shit. They put their life's money into this. Like, I've been telling people for years to stay away from this shit. I've been telling for years. If they listen to me, I was early on NVIDIA, I was early on Microsoft, I was early on Apple, and all of those chip makers. And one of you mentioned a minute ago about Nancy Pelosi. When I saw Nancy Pelosi fly over there to put her money into NVIDIA, I was like, yeah, I'm putting my money in NVIDIA. And it was like, nobody talked about that. All they talked about was the fact the Chinese said they were going to shoot her down. I was like, no. If you see Congress buying shit, obviously they're doing something. The reason why you're having this memory shortage right now is because the U.S. government is pouring money into those 4 memory companies. So you got SK Hynix, you got Samsung, you got Crucial, or they're owned by Micron. And what it ultimately is the government is trying to manipulate the market away from China for these data centers, right? But China's not stupid. China's making their own memory. They're building their own memory companies to make their own memory. Because if you really think about it, all this memory is basically made in Korea. So what U.S. government is doing right here in New York, they're building a factory in Troy, New York for Micron. It's a huge factory, and it's going to put a lot of jobs there in Troy, New York, right? So what did I do? I bet on Micron. I bought Micron at $9. I bought fucking SanDisk when that shit was like $20. I bought what was it, Microsoft. I mean, the thing about it is, I kept telling people, I was like, listen, stay away from the NFTs, stay away from this fucking cryptocurrency. This shit is a scam. It's a Ponzi scheme. But some people listen, some people don't. So all I can say is my portfolios are booming. I'll say it like this, Fantastic. Every time I go on vacation, I just went on this vacation. I did business class on JAL, right? I went to Vietnam, Cambodia, and Japan. All of that was paid for by my dividends. All of it. It was a $10,000 trip. All of that was paid by my dividends.
Shit.
Yeah. If you do nothing but buy stock and reinvest in dividends, right? And you buy more dividend stock, each one of those shares is paying you back. So if you put $100,000 in, you have at least $4,000 or $5,000 coming back. But the problem is people have waited, so now the market is more expensive now. So now you got to put in like $250,000 to expect like $5,000 to $10,000 back. And it also depends which dividends you're getting. Like if you're buying cigarettes have very high dividends because cigarettes kill people. So it's very profitable, but it has very high dividends. My thing is I've been betting on credit cards and banks because the banks will never die and neither will credit cards. These people are going to spend themselves right into the poorhouse. But it is what it is. People got to find out their own way.
Oh yeah, you can now buy your groceries on a 4-payment plan.
That's another big thing too. Shout out to Mayor One. So that's another big thing where people are getting fucked over. So before they started, because remember now they're actually doing credit reporting for that. So what people was doing post lockdown, motherfuckers was getting these Klarna and Afterpay and all this other shit and weren't paying them. They took a major hit too. So, but now they cracking down on that shit, bro, because they understand, because it's actually trackable. That shit affects your credit score now.
Well, no, but you got to understand something. People have been financing groceries as long as they've been putting groceries on any credit card and not paying the balance off at the end of the month. So
yeah, but before you actually had to have a credit score to get a credit card.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Yeah, you had to be able to afford the credit card, truck. So now,
no. Well, but here's the thing: they've been
or
so
qualify
loose.
for the credit card rather.
Well, my thing is they've been so loose on credit cards for so long that all they've done is give everybody a credit card at this point.
And that too. I didn't cover that. So yeah, credit is at the highest ever too.
Yeah, what is it? $2 trillion.
Credit default is at the highest ever.
Yeah, of course. Because ultimately, when you spend yourself into a corner, at a certain point, you can't. It's just like America. You can't afford to make the minimum payments. That's where we are right now with the national debt. The national debt is basically $40 trillion. So it takes over $1 trillion to make just the interest payment on the national debt. So it basically the government works the same way your house does. It's just on a bigger level. And a lot of people just don't get that. The difference is if the government wants more money, all they got to do is raise taxes. That's the difference. We can't just do that. And if you want to make more money, you just have to work more. And you may not be able to do that because there's only so many hours in a day. But I've made videos a long time ago. I was like, listen, if you're going to use a credit card, you pay it off. You pay that balance off. I have a solid 750 credit score. You remember how we used to argue with saving minus debt? You remember how, oh, you don't need to buy a house and all that
Yeah,
shit? Where's he
yeah.
now? Where's he now? You remember, now this was back during COVID when you
Yeah.
could get a house. When you
Could have got a house. Add like 2 or 3% interest rate. Add 2 or 3% interest rate before the fucking 50% increase.
Oh my God. Every time I think I go to sleep at night I'm right now in my house, I'm putting together this furniture. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, yo, my interest rate is a 3%. Every time I pay my mortgage, I'm beating the bank. I'm beating the bank because the bank wants to put me into a 7 or 8. I'm at a 3. And then I downsized it from 30 years to 20. So I've already paid off 5 years. I only got like 15 years left on this place. My other house is only like 3 or 4 years left. I got tenants paying that. And I'm up here arguing with these people. I'm like, yo, why are y'all giving out advice like this? It's like, yo, when you could have got a house, you could have got a house. You can't buy no house no more.
Yeah, you can't. That shit dead now.
Even with Trump's new Federal Reserve chairman, even if he lowers interest rates, the house values are still double or triple what they were 3 years ago.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think. I think that once the housing market crash happens and shit actually goes back down to what it's actually supposed to be, because the whole housing market, bro, is inflated at least by 50%, if not more.
But understand something. That the whole idea about a housing crash, that is wishful thinking. The reason why the housing market's not going to crash is because you're dealing with people like me. You're dealing with millennials and boomers who are locked into 3% rates. I am never selling my property. I got 3 houses. I'm never selling any of my shit. I'm never selling anything.
But boomers own a lot of the houses too, and they gotta sell for, either they gonna fucking die for one.
And they're gonna no, but when they die, it's going to their kids, and their kids will fuck it up because the kids can't afford to pay the bills, just
That's
like
what
my
I'm saying.
dumbass cousins. But anyway,
Either that or they got one of them damn reverse loans.
well,
Reverse
the only
mortgages.
people, hold on. The only people who really fell for reverse mortgages, it's fewer than you think. That's the silent generation. The silent generation is mostly dying out, so they went to reverse mortgages so that they could pay for pills and medicine and medical care, because a lot of them got sick. But boomers are not getting locked into these reverse mortgages like you think. Right now, boomers are sitting on 3 and 4% fixed mortgages, and they already see that there's no place that they can move unless they sell their primary residence, and then they move there to retire. So a lot of these boomers are stuck in place. Millennials are stuck in place. There's no place to move. It used to be New York was sending Atlanta all of the people who couldn't make it here. Now all of them are sitting down there. You got $300,000 mansions, but the problem is you're having a market fluctuation because it's hard to get jobs down in Atlanta and Florida. So we sent New York sent all of its people down south, and California sent all of its people up north. So they ruined Washington, they ruined Oregon. So the problem is there's no place that you can move unless you're willing to move someplace nobody wants to live.
Hey, shout out to Dollar Will. Dollar Will, I'm seeing a lot of that too. A lot of people are like roommating and staying together and cohabitating, bro. There are several families in these single family homes now. That's a big thing. I drove through my neighborhood like a month ago, and every motherfucking car in the driveway got at least 3 to 4 different cars in it. You know what I'm saying? And not all being drove by one person. My neighbors down at the end, I know they got like several kids, and they're all grown now. All their kids are grown, and all those kids are still at the house.
Yeah, and guess what? And let me say this. Y'all like to talk about statistics. One of the questions I never get answered is the statistics behind patricide and matricide. And the reason why I ask that, you've got all of these out of control children stuck in the house with their parents. They want to bring, you see them bring it, like that woman who just shot that boy in the back of the head, that black woman. You see them bringing their boyfriends in. You see them bringing their girlfriends in and beefing with their parents. a lot of these parents are going to end up with a knife in their back because these kids are realizing they can't afford anything. They'll never be able to afford anything. They're not buying no house ever. They can't afford rent. So they're in the primary residence. And when their parents finally come and try to put them out or something, they kill their parents off. So where the patricide and the matricide rates? Because I know they're going up.
Well, you know that literally just happened. I think it was the coach, one of the NFL coach's sons did that shit. Killed the mom. He killed his mom and the NFL coach's wife or whatever. Some wild shit.
Yeah, who were those brothers in California that did that?
Menendez.
Parents. Menendez brothers, yeah.
Well, I don't think the Menendez brothers didn't kill their parents because of housing. They killed them because they claimed that they were abusing them.
They molested them, and they said that they were that's some 10-4 Tuesday shit because they were a part of a huge child sex ring.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, that's what they said. But my point is, no, things are going to get a lot worse. And what you're going to see is you're going to see a lot of killings based on the father beefing with the boyfriend, or you're going to have the boyfriend beef with the father. We had a situation here a couple of months ago. A father broke into his daughter's room, and Pookie, who's in there banging the daughter, he had a Glock, and he shot the father and killed him. You might have heard about that.
In New York? I didn't hear that.
There's been a couple of stories like that.
There's been so many. And then the other thing is you've got the fathers beefing with the boyfriends when they come over to deal with the kids, because the fathers are not letting the boyfriends move into the house. And some of these kids are dark, man. They say, yeah, well, if I kill my parents off, we can move in. No, you go to jail.
Oh, and how many are just poisoning their parents slow?
Well, that's what happened in that what's the name situation. Remember the two kids killed the 5 family members? That's what happened in East St. Louis.
Yeah.
So it was a boyfriend. It was a boyfriend that was like 18. The girl was the actual family member related to everybody. And they was like he couldn't stay there or they couldn't be together or some shit. So the motherfuckers plotted to kill everybody.
Killed 5 and wounded 2.
Yeah, shot 7. Yeah. We shot 7 total. 5 of them died. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Nah, it's real out here, man. And the problem is these kids, they got nothing to. These kids are poorly educated. They can't hold a job. All the data is saying that they can't hold a job. They're poorly educated, and at this point they're losing. They're just losing it. So it's like I'm watching the news because keep in mind I was in Vietnam. And I was over there. It was safe, beautiful, quiet, peaceful. I'm over here watching a 24-year-old shooting up Teslas at an In-N-Out burger. You know, I'm like, yeah, this is going to get worse. This is going to get a lot worse.
Yeah, as far as the student loan debt goes, it's shit's still there, bro. They killed that shit. Motherfuckers got to pay it, and I think they just started automatic payments and garnishing this year. I want to say.
Yeah, Trump started automatic payments and garnishment last year, and people found out about it in January for the most part. That's when you saw these black women on TikTok making all those videos talking about how they're not going to be able to make it because Trump started calling in those debts. But the reality is it wasn't really Trump that started calling the debts. The banks want their money back. It's just that simple because they want that cash. So if you didn't pay, they garnish your tax return, or they garnish your wages directly, or both, whatever it takes to pay it off. Because some of these people think that they're just not going to pay it, and they're going to keep preying on it, and they think it's going to magically go away. It's like, no, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, and the new debt collector now is law firms.
Well, debt collectors are typically a small company because lawyers ain't got that kind of time. So what they do is they put together a small LLC. Like we've had a couple of them here, and they put together a small LLC, and those are the people they hire, teenagers, and the teenagers are sitting behind the desk calling you all day. You think that you're talking to somebody official. You're really just talking to a teenager who's working for an LLC. For the most part.
But they have people who know how to file paper.
Yeah.
So they will put a lien on your house.
Oh, absolutely. Well, no, first of all, most of these people ain't got houses. That's number one.
Oh, yeah.
And a lien on your house will only typically... See, the thing about it is student loans are a secured debt, right? So yeah, you can get sued in court and they will garnish you, but typically you don't get liens on your house unless there's a bigger issue. Like under certain amounts, you're not going to get a lien on your house. The people who end up getting liens on the house are people who get these solar panels and they buy work, and the work is attached to a loan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but no, typically you're not going to get a lien on your property, but most of these people don't have a property to sell in the first place. And you also have to remember, they wouldn't put a lien on your property because your property could be sold to pay off the debt, so that would be a collateral. They typically don't do that unless you show really bad faith. A lien on your property requires a higher level of interaction than.
But that's why they're using lawyers now.
Yeah. Oh no, I
Because
see what you're saying.
because lawyers can even go into your bank account.
Yeah, well, they can garnish you.
Yeah,
but
garnish
you gotta
wages
remember,
everywhere.
different states have different laws
Yeah.
requiring debt repayment. Different states have different laws, so it's not a one-size-fits-all thing. You know,
Yeah,
but
I
tell the story all the time. When I was a college student, I ran up debt at the end of college. I had like $30,000 of debt. I owed Discover like $5,000. They sued me, and they put the sticker right on my door, right on the door. I ignored that shit. I lost the judgment, and next thing you know, when I started working, my paychecks had like a $5,000 I owed to Discover right there in the garnishment. I paid it off, and then by the time I paid it off, my credit score had gone up. But they're going to get their money one way or another. The question is, what's going to happen to you and your credit and your buying ability while they're taking that money back? That's the question. They're going to get it one way or another. If they have to wait for you to get your tax return, they'll just snatch your whole tax return.
Yeah.
You know, they'll get it one way or another. But it also depends on state law. No two states have the exact same law. Like if you live in like Florida or Delaware, it's a little bit more lenient, you know. But these people better stop taking out these dumbass student loans, because it's not like the old days. If you took out loans in the old days to get a decent degree, it's like now you can't do that no more.
Well, Trump's cutting the if you're a profession, they're not going to give loans if the profession doesn't make more than a high school grad.
Yeah, well, that's the government. You can always you can get private loans if the government won't give it to you. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to eliminate what we used to call a career student, because some of these women, if they feel that they can keep a loan in deferment, they'll just go back to school. So you end up with these bitches who got like 3 and 4 master's degrees and they can't get a job. You know, it's incredible. It's really the game is nasty, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's the fucking the game that's just over with now, because I think they tightened up. Remember they made a list of things to where you can even get loans for. So if it's not considered a actual, decent degree, they won't even give you a student loan for it anymore.
Good. It should have always been that way.
That hustle's over.
Oh,
it should have always been that way. The way I see it is the government should not be giving loans for any degree field that we do not need people in.
Yeah,
but the government did it though. That's what the government purposely did it though. It was on purpose, Chuck. That's what you're saying.
Of course.
They had to when they got rid of the factory jobs with NAFTA.
Yeah, exactly. So they not only did they get rid of the factory jobs, they told everybody that now that you had to have a degree to get hired.
Yeah.
So now then the only loan that's unforgivable is a fucking federal student loan. So now you got to get the federal student loan to be able to motherfucking go to college to get the job. But now, you know what I'm saying, supply and demand and understanding, oversaturation. If everybody got a motherfucking degree, the degree ain't worth shit no more. And in tandem with that, the colleges got in on it because the colleges started constantly raising prices of college.
Oh yeah.
So now it's a perpetual cycle. Go ahead.
Yeah, anything that gets subsidized by the government, the price automatically goes up.
Yeah, like the fuck.
Child care to education, everything.
Yeah.
See, when these black women when they saw that Trump was attacking federal jobs and they saw that they started losing jobs, what they should have done was they should have gone to the jobs that they had avoided for so long. They should have gone and been teachers. Had they gone and been teachers, most of them had a liberal arts degree and they could have been teachers. But what they wanted is they want to have these cushy office jobs where they get to sit around and pretend that they're corporate CEOs. And the government, under Trump anyway, is killing those jobs off right now. Now, I will say this. Once Trump is gone, you're going to see a massive backlash. You're going to see a lot of those things return, because I'm guaranteeing you the next president is going to be a Democrat. I guarantee it. And when that happens, you may not want to believe me, but I was right before. So, the thing about it is the next president is going to be a Democrat, and they're going to do a 180 for what Trump is doing right now. So a lot of this stuff that he's done, the next person is going to run on undoing it. So just get ready for that.
I don't think Chuck, but I don't. You know what's going to be different this time though? I don't think they're going to be able to, just from a monetary standpoint, bro. I don't think it's going to be able to. Shit's going to be so fucked, bro.
Things are gonna be fucked up, but what you're gonna do is you're gonna have people run and say, "Hey, we're gonna not fund Israel, we're gonna not fund Ukraine, and we're gonna cut money from the Pentagon, and we're gonna put it into social programs." That's what you're gonna have. That's gonna be a popular message, because you're gonna have a bunch of kids who can't afford to live in an apartment, and all of those kids are voting for that person. I guarantee you right now. I guarantee you, if Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez runs for president, she's gonna win. I guarantee it.
No.
Yeah, okay.
No
All right. Hey,
Yeah,
fantastic. Before my buddy over here says no, I want you to remind him who was right about the Trump administration losing and Biden winning when everything was going perfect. I want you to think back to those days. I want you to remember that.
Yeah,
I'll put 20 on it right now. I'll put.
Fantastic. I want you to tell the whole audience.
Listen, Truck.
Hold on. I want you to tell the whole audience who was the only person who saw that shit coming. Trump's economy was going perfect. Everything was going perfect. All of a sudden, COVID came out of nowhere. Tell them.
Dude, the Democrats aren't even going to win back Congress.
Oh, yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Not with this. Not, dude. You've been overseas, right?
Oh, yeah, and guess what? I got a Muslim mayor right now who the Jews hate and they can't do shit about it. They just elected another Muslim up there in Michigan. And then they elected Muslims left and right. And these people are all
right. Who elects the president every year?
The electoral college of the country.
Oh, okay. Who votes for that though? Whose vote out of all the three groups we have makes the difference?
You got it's divided by demographics, and now you have
no, it's not. No, it's
coming
not.
up that's broke. What are you talking about?
No, it's not.
What?
You've got the left, you got the right, and you got the independents. And the independents are the ones who decide the presidency.
Hey,
they're not voting for DSA candidates.
Let me ask you something. Who's the next president going to be?
Marco Rubio or JD Vance?
No. You know why JD Vance? And I'll tell you this. I have nothing against JD Vance. You know why JD Vance is not going to be the next president? Because he got an Indian wife and he got 2 Indian kids. That's why.
And you think somebody's going to put Ocasio-Cortez in the presidency?
Yes, I do. I think women, I think Generation Z, I think Generation Alpha, any of them who are old enough to vote by 2028, they're going to put her right in there. You'll see.
I don't see her making it out of the primary, Truck. I don't see her being the main candidate.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, I'm just saying, if she runs, she's going to win. If she runs. But the next president is a Democrat. I guarantee it. Trump can't run
I'm not
anymore.
seeing it because the Democrat Party is falling apart right now.
Yeah, no. And that's a good thing. The Democrat Party needs to fall apart. You remember when...
you think they're going to rebuild in 2 years, though?
No, they don't have to rebuild in 2 years. All they need is for people to be suffering under Trump. Look what happened to Bush. Bush's economy collapsed at the end of his term. Who would have thought that they're going to take a black man with a Muslim name and an angry black church and say, yeah, that's the next president? Everybody, when they heard the dude's name, They were like, yeah, Barack Obama ain't winning nothing. Everybody thought it was going to be Hillary Clinton. What happened? As soon as he got Iowa, a state of 90% white people who had gotten their asses kicked by Bush so good that they say, yo, we're going to take this Muslim black guy over Hillary Clinton. And who was the president for the next 8 years? Barack Obama. What y'all have to look
But they
at
got
is the
Iowa on a closed primary.
Listen, what you need to look at is the fact that Trump is not running anymore, and Trump's base is non-transferable. MAGA is not enough to elect the J.D. Vance. MAGA is not enough to elect Rubio, and there won't be enough of them around. I'm telling you, right now, I'll make a bet. Fantastic knows I'm good for bets.
Dude, Obama wouldn't have got elected if he didn't run on an old school Democrat program.
Listen, I'm gonna ask you a question nice and I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you the question nice and simply. Tell me who the next president is.
I already told you.
You said J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio?
Or Marco Rubio.
Man, are you kidding? If Marco Rubio,
fantastic. Can we get a word in? This fat motherfucker gonna keep on talking.
All right, I'll let you talk. But guess
This
what?
big fat motherfucker.
All right,
Go ahead, real deal. It's all you, brother. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Man, the funniest thing about it, what's going on, Big Truck? I ain't got nothing to do with y'all.
How you doing?
Like I said, bro, I don't think it's gonna work in 2028 because the more socialist that you go, like my pops, he was gung-ho Democrat. He didn't fuck with Donald Trump at all. But once he started seeing that the party went more socialistic, he hold his breath. He said, man, I'd rather get a tax cut to get my shit hiked up where I lose the property. Because we got properties in Chicago. Them bitches done went down the damn drain with Brandon Johnson with his failed socialist light agenda, where they property tax them quadrupled for all the shit that they done spent for illegal immigrants. Now, why I think it's going to be Rubio is because the Hispanic vote, essentially the Hispanic population, and overtook the black community. But we play around with open borders too much, where their population then grew and they not aborting. Ain't that a bitch? You ain't even ready for the competition. You think it's going to be collaboration. You ain't ready for the competition. Now, when it comes to the DSA candidates, these motherfuckers have to move back from Hassan Piker because you saw how Abdul, once he won Michigan primary, he had to act like, oh, I'm not a socialist. No. I'm a scientist. No. Because you got a lot of Democrats that said I voted for Haley Stevens in Michigan, but I'm going to vote for Mike Rogers, the Trump-backed candidate. Now you got a problem. What are you going to do when 41% of your party is fucking up the rest of the margins? Now I'm done. Go ahead, Frank.
All right. Well, listen, you can believe it, but I'm just saying. Okay, so let me ask you. You're saying Marco Rubio is the next president?
Most definitely. Hispanics take care of their own. They like niggas. Hispanics is not like niggas. So take that psychology out. Don't equate niggas.
Hold on. You do realize. Yes, they will, but you do realize Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is Hispanic, right?
She's not gonna get past that shit either. I'm telling you, the DNC is not gonna allow a socialist to run a national ticket. They're gonna get landslided.
They don't have the money.
I don't see AOC, bro, making it to the presidency, bro. I just no way, dog.
And they don't have the money right now to run the congressional.
Yeah, they out of money.
Chuck, especially with them getting slid, with the Kamala shit, bro. As much as people hate to say it, Buddy out of Cali is still the strongest candidate they got right now.
Well, that and
you mean Gavin Newsom?
As soon as they shut down USAID, notice all the Democrats' money went away.
Yeah, Newsom's the best chance they even have, bro. The woman shit is not going to work. A non-white woman, they're not going to let a non-white woman be the first woman president, bro. I can tell you that right now.
If Hillary couldn't get it, Kamala couldn't get it. AOC definitely. Hell no.
Yeah, no fucking way.
And California, boy, ain't got no wins. Ain't got no wins to run on.
See, the problem, you know what the problem is? The problem is you can't account for the variables that you can't account for. Like, for example, if I was the head of the DNC, I would have forced Biden to resign back in January, and Kamala Harris would have been president. She wouldn't have been elected at first, But chances are, if she had been in there for a year, a lot of people might have supported her who normally wouldn't have before. But the thing about it is, they are stupid and they don't know how to play chess. But if it was me, I would have had Biden's ass out of there, and Kamala Harris would have been president.
And they
the
just
money
put their
that they
head.
raised for Biden doesn't go automatically for Kamala. The money that they raised for Joe Biden, that wouldn't translate to Kamala Harris.
Yo, understand something. Look what happened. The money that they did raise for Joe Biden, where did it go? It went to Kamala Harris for her campaign, even though she lost. The DNC is going to do what the DNC is going to do. If Biden had come out and say, yeah, guess what? My fellow Americans, I found out I got cancer in my dick. All they're going to do is transfer that money from one person to the next, and nobody's going to say nothing.
Yeah, but the DNC just put up their office building as collateral for a $15 million loan.
And Trump got all this money from Elon and shit in 2026, 2028, 2030, 2032. Like, Elon ain't going nowhere.
Fuck
That's your biggest problem.
Hold on. Elon Musk cannot run for president, number one. And
No, he's not talking about running. He's not talking about running. He's talking about funding.
Yeah, So what?
And the USAID came.
If you look at, I got money, nigga, I got bullets. You ain't got no bullets.
Excuse me. Who put more money into their campaign? Was it Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump? Donald Trump beat Hillary Clinton, and Hillary Clinton spent more money than him. It doesn't matter how much money you spend.
But the thing is, how can you lose election when you got majority of the media more money than now when niggas got more money than you and they can be able to learn how to win Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, the Rust Belt? It seemed like y'all ain't gonna get over that Rust Belt, huh?
First
the
of
Rust
all,
Belt
you're
ain't fucking
saying
with
that.
you. Every time I talk to a Union Democrat that's in Ohio or PA, these motherfuckers is going with the Republican Party because they felt that the Democrats, DSA, and a lot of moderates, these motherfuckers focusing on tech jobs. These motherfuckers want to be able to get manufacturing, warehousing, production back. Andrew's about to invest $1 billion.
Understand something.
And nobody's building factories.
I know, fantastic. Okay, y'all niggas talking.
They're only building factories in right to work states now.
So guess what? The bottom line is you're dealing with a demographic that's right now doing their best to elect Marxists right now.
Yeah,
and they're winning.
Yes,
they're winning.
And guess what, dude? It's just been primaries and off-season elections. Nobody ever shows up for those.
Yeah, Chuck. I think the locally you got that right, and that's where you have a concentration of people that's willing to do that shit. But the bad part about it is, this shit too, Chuck, is that shit's gonna turn around and bite them in the ass very, very quickly and fast, because the shit that Mondami is doing is going to wreck New York,
understand,
bro.
fantastic. I'm not fantastic. I'm not talking about the consequences of the vote. I'm only talking about the results of the election. I'm not.
No, I got you. This is what I'm saying. So this is what I'm saying though. But before that happens, before 2028 comes, the shit that's going on with Mondami is going to be showing, and the negative behind it. And I think you don't have enough Marxist ideology and approval across the country. New York is, of course, that y'all all fucking super duper liberal, all this bullshit or whatever, right?
California, but
and Cali and those two places you can get away with electing a mayor and possibly even a governor, possibly, right? Because you just got so much concentration of the population in those major cities. What we saying though, on a national scale though, bro, no fucking way, bro. No.
All right.
Because middle of the road Democrats ain't gonna tolerate that shit, bro.
The Democrats, especially being how they lost before, they can't. They need to be as moderate as possible. That this extreme shit, AOC is extreme as it gets, bro. Come on.
And the thing is, we don't even gotta talk about AOC.
No.
God damn, nigga.
AOC is not. Hold on. AOC is not as extreme as it gets. Bernie Sanders is as extreme as it gets. They know that he can't run. But the thing about it is, a young Latino woman who tries to move towards the center, she absolutely could win.
Dude, if she moves towards the center, she's going to lose her base.
Exactly. So that's what I'm telling you, Chuck. And that's what I'm Chuck. For one, you're not going to have the first woman president be a non-white woman. For one. Two, again, like you said, AOC, bro, she has too many just public fucking
blunders.
Yeah, man, there's way too much wild shit to be said, bro. You
They
can't
said, hold on. They said the same thing about Barack Obama. Barack Obama, I heard him on the news when he said, yeah, I heard Barack Obama before he became president the first time say that he wouldn't be afraid to use nuclear weapons against Islamic terrorism, and he wasn't supposed to say that. You can make gaffes.
Yeah, but
gaffes
no.
don't matter.
Well, no. That's not the same as saying. That's not the same.
policies and
That's
a
not the
bad
same
voting
as
record.
arguing. That's not the same arguing what a woman is, though, Chuck. That's not the same. Foreign policy and what you would do to the enemies at that time, where we still had hella beef with, and everybody was on some, you know what I'm saying. Everybody was anti-Islam. Yeah, it's cool, and he that actually helped him because, like you said, his name in itself. So now I gotta be like, hey, I'm not with the ops. I'm against the ops. So I'm gonna take the ultimate measure. You feel me? So even though it's something that he shouldn't have said, it's something that he kind of necessarily had to say, being, the perception or whatever. But AOC though, no, bro, it's no way. I'm telling you.
Okay, so
The
fantastic.
funniest thing
So
about
fantastic.
it is a lot of people is dealing
Is
with
she?
a lot.
Well, Truck. Let me ask, Truck. Is she even? I haven't heard her talking about running, Truck. You may know better because you're in New York, but I haven't even heard of her even thinking about running for president, though, Truck. That's what I'm saying.
I've heard here in New York, I've heard the DNC talking about running her. I have not heard her talk about running. I'm just saying, if she runs, she's going to win.
No.
But what I was going to ask you, fantastic, who's the next president?
I'm the same thing, bro. I think JD Vance is going to be kind of hurt if he runs. I think Rubio gets the nod over JD Vance.
Why do you think JD Vance is going to
Too
be
close to Trump, like you said. He's going to be He's going to be the vice president under Trump, and the economy is going to be wrecked, bro.
Okay.
The economy is going to be wrecked.
And right now, Rubio's a rock star on the world stage.
See, now that's where I disagree, fantastic. Where
Are you
in my area, in my area, when it comes to manufacturing production, a lot of that shit's getting scaled up. Where Lockheed Martin, they need 4,000 more goons when it comes to building and production in the United States. I think fantastic. They hope for the economy to be wrecked by 2029. Say if out of the trillions of dollars in capital being committed, say 11 out of the 19 gets committed, and new jobs and plants in the Midwest, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan. Because mind you, GM plant is being built up in Michigan. DTE Energy investing $2 billion all across the Rust Belt. If they can't get the investment coming in, then yeah, I think Vance is gonna have a problem because, like you say, too affiliated with it, they're gonna say, nigga, the tariffs didn't bring in the jobs, situation didn't get scaled up, new jobs didn't come in, AI scare, energy scare. But if in by a miracle's chance that the economy doesn't collapse based off of the carry trade, jobs comes in, immigration gets handled where he can deport 5-6 million motherfuckers in these 4 years. Yeah, man, I don't see how Democrats can win based off of the situation of immigration being tackled.
I still think I think Vance wins over who it is because I said, I don't know. Newsom is the only person I can see that's a viable candidate for real for the DNC to even run, right?
The number one rated right now is Buttigieg, though. The number one rated by Democrats is Buttigieg, Pete Buttigieg.
Oh God!
So you're saying they're gonna elect a gay man? They're gonna elect
come on,
bro.
No,
that is who is percentage wise has the most support in the DNC for president. The next president.
Newsom is terrible. Newsom is terrible here in California. Have any of y'all been in California recently? Any of y'all been? LA?
But real deal, I got you. I'm with you, but I still think that's the strongest fucking candidate that they have. Everybody else is.
Man, Democrats ain't got no bench, bro. DNC ain't got no bench.
No, they don't though.
No, because all they had was Wes Moore in Maryland, right?
Wes Moore's even more terrible. He had a surplus in Maryland, and now he got $2 billion deficit.
Yeah, and he's turned out to be a freaking nightmare.
And none of the senators, none of the congressmen, the black dude they was trying to get up, he's not gonna do it. The fucking Obama, Timu Obama, that's just not gonna work.
Hakeem Jeffries, what?
Yeah, Jeffries is not gonna work. So no.
I don't know what they're gonna do, Fantastic, because the thing is, they hope that the economy collapsed. That's why they was gaslighting everybody about tariffs and the situation in Iran.
Oh shit.
They was hoping that the Iran war would have bust out to be another Iraq 20, 30-year war, and they can be able to run and say, see, look what Donald Trump did. But now since that's folding down and gas prices then shot down lower from $85 to $76 a barrel, at the height $110 a barrel, it seems like the Democrats' plan is crippling and they're doing more infighting, because if you got DSA niggas and corporate Democrats, they're just as extreme as DSA niggas. They just smile it better. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
shout out to West M, 757. Appreciate you, brother, for the 5. Gavin won't win because he has too much dirt. He cheated with his best friend's wife, and she had the kid deleted.
That's
Jesus
exactly
Christ.
what That's exactly.
This is documented. Feminist is a no.
Yeah, but-
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
but-
I didn't know that.
That actually happened. That was like in 2003.
Apologize. You didn't hear him apologize for that. I remember that, and that's the one reason.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
He would never.
Yeah, but-
I never thought he.
But nah, but hey, Clinton became president with an actual motherfucking SA charge, bro. Which, for all intents and purposes, he pretty much did that shit. He paid the bitch off and everything.
But Newsom doesn't have a
93.
successful
Yeah.
candidacy in anything. He has no successful history as a politician whatsoever.
He was what? He been governor what? He's been governor twice,
he's been
right?
a governor of a failing state
Lieutenant governor
for 8 years.
So he's been in government for 16 years here.
Yes, but it's a failing state.
Yeah, he controlled the West Coast for 16
Right,
years.
I got you right. Yeah, him being the governor of fucking of Cali is a successful thing, regardless of his actual performance. What we're saying though, best possible candidate, the names that come up, if you're putting names in a hat or you're putting candidates up there, I can't see a better and then that's the only people that everyone's been expecting and been talking about is Gavin Newsom, right? They were even talking about him, remember, when this one came up. I think he just knew though, had he wasn't gonna be able to beat Trump, and had he lost to Trump, it would have hurt him later on in 2028. You feel me? Running second time around, and he would pretty much have to give up being governor. So hey, fuck it, y'all not gonna set me up for failure. Shit, let her do it, you know, and then I'll prep and whatever, you know, for 2028.
But I think the 92%ers is going to get betrayed, because if it has to come down to Kamala and Gavin, they're gonna put Gavin. A lot of them hoes are gonna be angry and they're gonna not turn out. They're gonna stay home, and they realize that the numbers.
if they even let her, if they let Kamala run again, they're not serious.
And how many people just voted against Trump instead of for the Democrat candidate?
Voting against Trump doesn't work in 2028. It
Exactly.
won't work in 2028 because
Trump is not a variable.
Because
exactly.
Because Gavin is a situation where out here, moderate California Democrats here doesn't like Gavin because of the situation of the lockdowns, where we had lockdowns up to 2024. A lot of y'all states was open, doing business, hobnobbing, you know, running deals, capturing transactions, doing business. January 2024, then we come out of damn lockdowns and shit. Now we can be able to function with all this damn Fauci juice in our system that we still can't be able to figure out what the hell is in it. But, you know, what the hell do we know? We just the West Coast. Like, we got great weather, high motherfucking taxes, and everybody moving to Texas. I don't know, man. Politics is funny, bro. The Democratic Party is a very, very crazy ass party where my pops had to hold his breath. My pops said, man, I don't necessarily like Donald Trump, but the open border shit was too overwhelming, man. We about 30, 40 minutes away from the border, man.
Well,
all my family said, man, I don't like this dude, but man, we got to get these niggas up out of here. All the hood niggas that I knew, Compton, Crenshaw, they said, man, this is a problem.
Well,
now,
look
if Democrats going to double down on the open border shit, they can forget about 34% of the black men vote. Because they did the numbers. They said Texas black men, Florida black men, and Georgia black men voted the highest for dude. So, you know.
And look at Trump, dude. He's a 1980s era Democrat.
Well, he's a corporate Democrat, you know, East Coast New Yorker. You know, I looked at Michael Bloomberg, looked at Richard Daley. Richard Daley would be considered Republican now. Bloomberg,
so Barack Obama would, running on his first term, be looked at as a Republican.
I don't know the gay shit.
pro marriage, anti-abortion, pro nuclear war.
Fantastic, man. What you thinking, cuz?
What?
See, I'm in the West Coast and shit, and I think we're in a bubble where I think a lot of shit that's normal here is just too far gone for other people.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah. You're gonna have the most liberal mindset when you're talking Cali. The furthest left you can go is going to be Cali politics, and that's why I think why Newsom is not going to be able to overcome, because he's going to be he was pro truck. Goddamn truck. He was pro. You know, trans athlete. You know what he did or what he didn't do with the homeless shit, the homeless crisis, motherfuckers shitting in the streets.
HIV transmission is a misdemeanor. It's a misdemeanor here. Buying sex from a child, it used to be a misdemeanor.
Yeah, that all of that shit, bro. I think that's going to hurt him. You know, a lot once you start getting into the campaigning aspect and the debating aspect.
Closing down
and
oil
I think. Yeah, Mo. I just don't. If he's that, I think that's going to be. Now, I think he's going to be a lot closer. I don't think it's going to be the landslide it was with Kamala, but I think most American people, when they see all the shit he was in favor of, and most importantly, the wildfire shit, right?
Yeah, that fucked off 300,000.
Oh yeah,
homes
California's environmental policy.
That fucked
off
300,000.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah, man. So I think, you know what I'm saying, I don't see them. I don't, unless they just get a miracle. You know, somebody pop up out of nowhere within the next, I guess in the midterms, you get some crazy hot rising star that get elected from the Democrats during the midterms, some shit, and this motherfucker turn out to be just a super duper star over the next 2 years. But I doubt it, man.
Well, it seemed like moderate politics in the Democratic Party ain't popular.
No, but fantastic. You're forgetting something. You can also have an election where nobody likes any of the candidates, and people just hold their nose and they vote because they don't want a repeat of what they just had. And the reality is, under a situation like that, anybody could win. But what I'm saying is this: the Republicans under Trump right now are not doing as good as you think they're doing based on what the media might be telling you. And what I'm saying
I don't think they're doing.
I think you're in that bubble, dude. You're in that New York bubble.
He's in a
bubble. No.
He's in a bubble.
I just flew 9,000 miles away and just came back from.
Yeah, dude, and they don't vote in American elections.
Yeah, but I do.
And they also purging a lot of these voter rolls because here in California we got hundreds of thousands of non-citizens voting.
Yo, let them try to do that shit. We will make
Hell,
it
New
so
Jersey had to do the same thing.
that you don't need any ID to vote, and you can pull up in a taco truck.
California already has that.
Yeah, California already has that truck. I just
know.
talked about
You
that.
literally draw a picture to sign your name.
Guy,
California.
I understand that they have that because we do the same thing here.
And see, that's a problem. See, niggas
No,
is
it's
not
a
gonna
problem. It's a
co-sign
problem
this shit,
for
bro.
you. We don't
No,
care.
that's a problem for everybody in Michigan. That's a problem for most people in Wisconsin. That's a problem
Rust
for
Belt.
anybody outside of Chicago and half of Chicago. The Midwest ain't trucking with that stuff. The Rust Belt ain't trucking with that.
You got to understand, the Midwest, nobody gives a shit about the Midwest. You don't have enough electoral
But
votes to
that's-
control the country.
Not true, man. The Rust Belt carries a lot of weight. Pennsylvania, if you can't win Pennsylvania,
The
then
Rust
you ain't
Belt
gonna win
decides
Michigan.
decides the election.
That's like a twin sister.
And guess what? Guess what? Right now, Pennsylvania doesn't like the fact that their representative right now is pro-Israel, and they're turning on his ass right now.
But they got a Jewish governor.
That's DSA niggas that's doing that shit.
Yeah.
That's why I said the DSA gonna split the Democratic Party, bro. They're not gonna be unified. It's gonna be like a plurality. No different how when Poppy Bush tried to run for re-election. Let me finish. No different how when Poppy Bush tried to run for re-election in '92, and Ross Perot came in with the middle ground, essentially America first. No offshoring, no illegal immigration, strong borders, keep everything in house, and that fucked off Bush because he was with that globalist bullshit. I'm telling you, bro, it's very nuanced, man.
Well,
It's very
first of
nuanced,
all,
my brother.
the Democrat Party needs to die in the form that it's in, and they need a new Democrat Party. Newt Gingrich gave you a brand new contract with the GOP, and that helped the GOP start winning elections afterwards. The Democrats refuse to say that they've done anything wrong.
No,
and
that
that's
actually helped the
problem.
Democrats. That
What?
contract with America actually helped the Democrats.
No. The GOP started winning elections. Like they started winning local elections better, even though Clinton was president.
You talking about local election? You talking about federal?
Yeah. Well, the bottom line is, I could point out that they did.
And the cities are all demographic shift. That's why Democrats run all the big cities. It's just a demographic shift.
Yeah. Well,
New York will never vote in a Republican. New York will never vote in a Republican.
Excuse me. If all these people who live in the suburbs, if they were so worried about demographic shifting, then they never should have left the city. But the reason they left the city is because blacks started moving to the cities, and then they did that white flight shit, and they went out to the suburbs. Like right now, for example, here, my grandparents, they started in Jamaica, which was basically funded by the GI Bill. Whites were segregated out there. Hold on. Excuse me.
Yeah, and most of those people are dead now.
Hold on. Whites were out there in Levittown, so they segregated people with the GI Bill back then, right? Now, guess what? Levittown right now is high taxes. Levittown is high taxes. Levittown has no jobs. And the white people out there are getting their asses kicked because now the Indian Americans are moving out there and taking all their houses. And they're trying to move down to South Carolina right now because they can't afford to stay here. If they didn't want to worry about the shift, then they shouldn't have done white flight and moved out to the suburbs. That's their fault.
Man, we talking about now, bro.
Dude,
got a lot of black Americans leaving New York.
Dude, you got black people leaving those cities too.
North Carolina.
Well, yeah,
Going for
black
North
people
Carolina.
went down. Listen, the blacks that couldn't afford to stay here in New York, or the blacks that were suckered to move down to Atlanta,
Well-
and they're like, "Oh yeah, you can move down to Atlanta." Have
Well, Truck, you made my point, bro. You making my point. Like I said, the demographic shift's gonna make more electoral college votes go to Florida and Texas. California, when you got 20, 50,000 people going to Texas, that gives Texas 2 to 3 more electoral votes. And you know Texas ain't flipping blue. Then you got situation when it comes to Florida. You got New Yorkers saying, man, fuck Mamdani. Mamdani then docks 900,000 people. A lot of those millionaires, they're not going to tolerate that bullshit. They'll just go off to Florida. And that would be another set of 2 to 3 or 1.
And not
Them
just
electoral
that,
college
that's all their
votes
tax
matter.
base. He's
If you
chasing
guys
their
couldn't
tax
win
base.
2024, let me finish. We don't have to agree, brother. But if you couldn't win 2024 at the same setting, where say if the GOP can hold Nevada, because I be in Nevada all the time. Nevada is now a red state. Nevada is like bloodshot red, and that motherfucker voted Democrat since 2004. Actually, Bush was the last motherfucker to win Nevada as a GOP. Now, Florida, fantastic. What's going on when it comes to Wasserman Schultz? I heard Luther Campbell complaining about him getting cheated. They cheated me. Trump is right. DeSantis is right. Where he was tripping about how they did the what's that called? Ballot harvesting, and got Wasserman Schultz that spot in South Florida around Orlando, Miami, around that area.
Yeah.
Where you got niggas in their own party calling this shit out and saying, y'all cheated me out the election. Now, I think Florida is getting redder and redder. Am I
Yeah,
wrong?
hands down. It's
Ballpark, what's going on?
DeSantis is pretty much made. I know that I guess Florida's considered a swing state now. I guess I don't know, but DeSantis for the most part, bro, has made fucking Florida red as a motherfucker, dog. Like the ones that are here are not gonna allow. You got great gun laws, the taxes and shit or whatever, just the whole thing, bro. Nobody, that shit's not going back blue, dog.
No state income tax, bro. Like
Yeah, no
California,
state income tax. Like, yeah, no.
we going to 13%, and that's why California, New York is gonna make essentially they're gonna make the Republicans more and more, redder.
Yeah, because like you said, and then the people are leaving there and coming here. So even if they're leaving New York and Cali for Texas and Florida at like crazy numbers.
Listen, they can move to whatever state they want. The simple fact is, if they raise federal taxes, it doesn't matter where you move. You're not leaving the country.
Yeah, but
Man.
if you
And the
raise
Democrats
if you
wanna
raise
raise
the
federal
federal,
taxes.
just real quick. So Truck, and I know this for a fact because my homeboy used to live in Brooklyn. Truck, even if you raise the federal, you saving fucking 20,000 on just city taxes alone. If you stay in the city, you know that, Truck.
And that's why they're proposing new taxes against, or I should say, new taxes to get at the wealth that these people have accumulated.
Yeah, and they're
because the
leaving,
reality
though.
is, yeah, they can go, but if they get them on the federal level, there ain't nowhere you're gonna go.
But $1 trillion.
But it's never gonna be that high though, Truck. Federal is gonna be what it is, flat.
So here's
But
the
when you
question.
add
The government,
state and city, that's crazy.
Yeah. What happens?
The
What
government
happens?
has
Salt tax. They
the
call it the
government.
salt
The
tax.
government. Hold on. The government has no choice but to get ready to start raising taxes because they can't even make the minimum payments on the national debt.
But that's what I'm
So
saying.
when
It's pointless though, Truck. That's not gonna be the way they try it because, like you said, it's no way for you to tax the people enough for that to even make a dent either. It's gonna be other things that they have to do that. So I know for sure that's not gonna be the proposal for getting the debt down. The proposal for getting the debt down, Truck is pretty much getting something back, raising the gold price or revaluing gold, and then just paying the shit off in gold.
And tokenizing all the real world assets.
The U.S.
Yeah.
Hold on. The U.S. government is not going into gold. The U.S. government is trying to push people into cryptocurrency.
Everybody's going into gold, Truck. They don't have a
Tokenized
choice.
asset. Thank you.
No,
Yeah,
excuse me.
that-
The majority of the rise
fucking
in
God.
gold. You got to remember, I own gold. I own gold because I was
We
doing
all
gold
do,
while the rest of
brother.
y'all was focused on
We all do.
cryptocurrency. So hold on. The majority of the
You got 30,000 in gold, man.
the majority of the increase in gold has mostly been from China because China is starting their own.
You're saying the same thing I said, Truck, and that's what I'm saying. This is why America has to do the same thing because China's trying to motherfucking pretty much get some form of gold back currency, and they're trying to get everybody on the yuan, bro. The yuan.
Look what,
So that's what I'm saying.
What you're saying. No. You're saying that America needs to do the same thing. What I'm saying is that China is focusing on gold, but America's not focusing on gold. America's trying to focus on crypto instead of gold.
But it's real world assets, bro. Damn, it's all
they go, but
tokenized.
Truck, that's what I'm
Really
saying. Truck, they're gonna have to because, like you said, I'm pretty sure that Trump understands and other motherfuckers understand that the Bitcoin is not the answer, bro. Now, if you're talking some shit to where it's gonna be, huh?
It never was.
But that's what I'm saying. So when you saying crypto, are you saying Bitcoin or are you saying another form of crypto?
Another form of cryptocurrency.
Okay, you're right then. So no, so we on the same page. So no, you're right. So but that's gonna be the new money system though. That's gonna be the whole new system that replaces SWIFT.
Let me say this.
Yeah,
I've listened to the Zionists for a long time talk the stuff that they talk. They always wanted America to be on a gold standard because it doesn't allow you to go into massive amounts of debt for a military industrial complex. So the thing about it is the American government is going to do the exact bad thing, and they're going to try to focus on digital currency because you can make that whatever you want it, and there's no laws in the Constitution that monitor or regulate. See, there's only certain things you can do with dollars and cents and pennies and coins. We have laws for that. We
Really?
don't have any laws for digital currency.
Because gold and silver are specifically mentioned in the Constitution as actual currency, the only actual currency.
Yeah, and coins.
So what I'm saying is, in order to get around the limitations, they want to try to push us towards a digital currency in order to get around the limitations.
Yes, but it's got to be
law.
pegged to something.
What?
It has to be pegged to something.
Here's the problem. No, it doesn't. What is the right now the U.S. dollar? What is the U.S. dollar pegged to? It's not pegged to gold. It's pegged to a trust.
It's oil backed, and that's why they're going to tokenize. It's oil backed. It's military and oil backed. It's that's the both. Why do you think the situation of Iran happened? That's the petrodollar system. Petrodollar protection. Dear
And
God.
to slow down
Brother,
China, all you have to do is cut off their access to
I
oil.
rock with you, brother Truck. I'm gonna say, let me get my piece off. I respect you, brother Truck, but when it comes to what Fantastic is saying, they can tokenize all real assets from the data centers, that's tokenized compute, to the oil, that's tokenized energy, tokenized banks, T-bonds, gold. The whole spectrum can all be tied together to keep all this. Do you know we have literally quadrillions in tokenized assets all across the planet. We can tokenize the Venezuelan oil. We can tokenize the Venezuelan oil, and that's 300 billion plus barrels. Why do you think Trump got the Venezuela shit in February?
No, listen, I understand that. What I'm saying, no, the
And
reason why
gold, too.
Trump went after the reason we went after Venezuela was so that we could control oil prices to China,
And we
because
can
China's
tokenize.
going into the data center. But the bottom line is, what I'm saying is, China likes to have a stable currency backed by gold. America doesn't want to be backed by gold because it puts limits on how much we can spend.
Hey, like
Yeah,
I said,
but
man.
not. But like you said, if you revalue it though, truck, and you revalue it up to tens of thousands of dollars though, bro. That's what I'm saying. Because by all intents and purposes, what gold is still valued whatever it was for like the last audit, which I think is something like around $40 or something, if I remember right.
Price control.
So if you do a gold revaluation for actual real time now, you know what I'm saying? Especially understanding what China is doing, like you said, buying gold and trying to fucking set some shit up as to where everything is going to be gold back for them and the people to be able to trust in them, you know what I'm saying, as far as getting gold or getting loans and currency and all these different things. That's what I'm saying. Because like you said, the crypto shit is just not going to work until the other thing comes in to fruition, until it's actually grown. Because right now it's just not, you know what I'm saying, everything's got to be in place. But in the meantime, between time, they're going to have to do something with gold, truck, because that's going to be the only way that they, and Trump has actually hinted at that. Remember, he said we can pay it off in gold. So I think that's why that's the plan.
Well, look at China's history, right?
Hold on. Fantastic. When you run for politics, nigga? Where can I put some money up and say, man, it's my man right here?
What?
But if you actually look at China's history,
I'm gonna run for Congress or something one of these days, man. Congress.
Fantastic. Fantastic. The second you try to run, they're gonna have News at 11. A Manosphere member who said horrible things about gay and LGBT is trying to run for Congress.
Trump said grab him by the pussy and they let a wrestler be a fucking senator or congressman. I'll be all right.
No. Did you see that dude?
Bingo.
Did you see that? Hold on. Did you see that Democrat? Did you see that Democrat in Hawaii get his ass beat on the beach?
No.
Oh yeah. That's a good video.
Got his ass whipped. He got his ass whipped because he was like going up against the family. He got his ass whipped. The dude knocked him out, and he's up there laying on the beach like dazed and shit. Yo, if you can't pull that shit up, it's hilarious.
Oh yeah, and the Hawaiian guy actually called him a fucking haole too. Which is going to be a signal to every actual Hawaiian that votes not to vote for that dude.
But the thing is, man, do we really count Hawaii, bro? Like Hawaii, oh my God, Hawaii is just expensive.
Hawaii is electoral votes. Yes, we do count Hawaii.
Man, that's why when the motherfucker said Obeezy was from Hawaii, I'm like, Hawaii?
Oh,
Nigga, that did not
Hawaii.
ring a bell, nigga.
Straight out of Oahu.
Those are Democrat electoral votes. You damn right we count them.
Man, Trunk, I'm gonna ask you it now. Let me ask you a question, Trunk. My apologies for cutting you off, but why do you still vote DNC, man? I thought my pops was gonna die Democrat. Even he had to eventually flip, nigga. Once he started realizing that his money looking good, my mom flipped, my sister flipped. My sister cried when Trump got in office the first time. To now, she's saying, "Nah, I'm making money on my stocks. Trump is doing what he need to do in the stock market. I'm Republican." Like, what makes you still DNC, brother? And you is far from a socialist.
Well, no, you're assuming that, first of all, I'm a registered Republican.
When was this, brother? When was this, man? I don't remember this shit 6 years ago when I used to be on YouTube, nigga.
No,
you had
the reason why is because in my analysis, I believe that events were going to go a certain way, but you couldn't understand how somebody who could be registered one way thinks the other. You couldn't understand it. But I'm mathematical and analytical. I'm not emotional on this.
Well, it's refreshing. Now, did you vote for Mamdani?
You know what? Believe it or not, I would have, but I didn't because my primary residence is in Long Island. Even though I have a house inside Queens, my primary residence is in Long Island, so I didn't have to vote for the election.
Now, brother, so You like free shit too?
Well, listen. Listen.
About to go for
Honestly,
Mamdani.
I'm saying.
You must like free shit
I'm gonna
too.
say it. Hold on. I'm gonna say it just.
I would never vote for Mamdani, nigga. I would have voted for Cuomo. I would have
Hold on.
voted
I'm gonna say
Cuomo
it just
before I
like
did.
this. Yo, understand something. This
I ain't vote for
morning,
Karen
or
Bass in LA.
yesterday morning, I got back from Vietnam. In Vietnam, the buses actually are fast and free. And I was riding on 3 buses, and I was like, yeah, this could work in New York to some extent. The bottom line is, I didn't vote for him, and I wouldn't have voted for him for the free shit. The thing that I like about Mamdani is he's putting it to AIPAC. That's what I like.
For now, but do you know that?
And that's great as long as you got the millionaires funding fixing those buses. But once they leave, New York can't keep up that infrastructure.
Yo, guys, you need to understand something. New York and California make enough money where as long as if we were willing to make certain cuts, we make enough money to fund
Nigga,
that.
$1 trillion done left Cali, bro. Don't speak on California. Speak on New York, nigga. Speak on that fucking rat-infested, mutated rat-infested damn concrete jungle in New York. California.
And Vietnam also doesn't use their public transportation as housing for the homeless.
We talking about America. I live in America.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. You know what's funny? You just say, Vietnam doesn't use public transportation as housing for the homeless. Guess what? Vietnam doesn't have much homeless because they actually make sure people have a place to live.
But
no, they actually lock up the crazy ones too.
No, that's not true. If you're a murderer or a rapist, they kill you, yes. But if you're like, first of all, when I was there, I didn't see any homeless people at all.
Yes, because they're all locked up in a camp out in the jungle.
No.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh my God.
No. The Vietnamese people are doing better than you could imagine. They're living better than we are. Your kids can't even buy a fucking apartment. I'm living in a place where apartments are $15 a day.
Nigga, I would never voted for Mamdani, nigga. Here in LA, nigga, I didn't vote for Karen Bass. I voted for Rick Caruso because he was the head of the water department and he was telling everybody.
Did he win? Did he win?
No. Let me finish, cuz.
Thank you.
Let me finish, cuz. Damn.
Go ahead.
Like I said, bro, like I wasn't going for Karen Bass. Even hood niggas in LA, they voted for Spencer Pratt. And I was surprised where you had motherfuckers from Crips to Bloods. He's saying that Karen Bass done fucked up so deep in LA when it comes to the fires, Altadena, Eaton Fire, Kenneth Fire, all these 300,000 homes being burnt down, that these motherfuckers was upset when they found out that the Indian chick had 60,000 ballots being stuffed in and get her over the top over Spencer Pratt. These motherfuckers were just as angry as the white folks here when Spencer Pratt didn't get through. And the funniest thing about this whole shit in Cali is we are so rigged that unfortunately Steve Hilton, he won't be able to get in. Bianco, he won't be able to get in. A third Republican, they got a third Republican where the Republicans is leading in the polls here in California.
Yeah, California is going to go through the same thing we are.
But the problem is that we can't get over that ballot harvesting shit. That's why I kind of don't feel nothing for Luther Campbell because he was the main one try to say you got until 3 until you be able to switch your vote for Kamala. Nah, but he had a point where he said that there was door knocking and ballot harvesting thousands of ballots, even when they say that the shit done closed down, but they're still capturing votes.
They just caught him registering all those people to vote.
Registering and getting all these ballots, getting all these ballots, 80,000 ballots out of nowhere. Spencer was leading, like nigga, like San Francisco, Oakland. The Oakland mayor, she Asian, she got indicted for racketeering.
Yeah, I saw that.
Altadena, not Altadena, Arcadia. All these Asian mayors, motherfucking Boston. Woo, like you got all these motherfucking CCP agents that's running high levels of government in the East and the West Coast, bro. Like the South is going to be the one that's going to hold it down. I don't believe.
First of all, you can't hold on. You can't call them. You cannot call them CCP agents just because they're Asian. You can't do that.
But they got caught.
DSA candidates then. DSA candidates then.
Well, DSA niggas would say that Karen Bass ain't DSA, but she's still socialist. Like she still captured the same playbook from Castro. Like, come on. Like, and that's what I hate about the Democrats. Democrats don't admit when the shit look bad. Like, Democrats never admit when the shit look bad. That's why I try to tell all y'all 92% chicks 2 years ago that it's not gonna work because she got so much dirt. Where look at the California map, bro. Like Trump flipped it 10 California counties. Orange County, Merritt County, San Bernardino. Like, I don't see how that Gavin think he got a chance to even get past maybe Arizona and Nevada, because everybody that left Cali that didn't move to Texas, they just moved to Nevada and Arizona. He said, nah, nigga, you're the reason why I'm here. It's gonna look bad. It's gonna look bad altogether, bro. Like, we don't forget, bro. I don't know why.
Well, keep in mind, Fantastic brought up Gavin Newsom, but he doesn't fully understand Gavin Newsom's past that we know about. That this is the reason why I was saying I don't believe it would be Gavin Newsom who would be the Democrat frontrunner. Because, see, first of all, the Democrats got caught trying to marginalize Bernie Sanders. I do not believe that they're going to try that again. I think if they let everybody just try to play out in a Democrat primary, I think Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is going to probably end up coming closest to number one. That's what I think. See, the problem is you're dealing with these people who feel comfortable with these old white male Democrats. A lot of these new people do not want Gavin Newsom simply because he's a white male. They want something different. They want a diverse, or they want a spectacular Obama-like candidate who's trans. Yeah, they want somebody transitional. So all I'm saying is you have no idea what's going to happen between now and the Democrat primary. And on top of that, because you don't know.
We do.
All right, yeah. Well, I want you to ask Fantastic how President Trump's economy was going right before he had to run up against Biden. Everything was going fantastic right up until COVID. Anything can happen.
And that's why the Democrats thinking that this shit gonna tank. Like, that's why I think the Democrats got a flawed playbook and they hoping on wishful thinking too.
I agree. The Democrats,
and the Democrats don't have a platform to run on.
Because the Republican Party ain't gonna split, bro. Y'all think
Democrats?
Yeah, what's the Democrats' platform right now?
The Democrats' platform is very simply unaffordability. Because first of all,
what is their plan to fix it? Because the platform's got to have a plan under it. The platform has to have a foundation under it.
Hold on. First of all, Trump has made promise. Trump has made empty promise after empty promise. He claimed, "Oh yeah, we're gonna have $5,000 checks to get women to have children." That shit didn't happen. He said they were going to get tariff checks. The tariffs were ruled unconstitutional. That shit didn't happen. The Supreme Court said, "Fuck you. You're not changing the 14th Amendment." The Supreme Court slapped
you know that they're still capturing tariffs. You know that there's 100 billion in tariffs now.
So what? Listen. The things that
they
Trump has
refund
done.
the first niggas. Still paying.
The things that Trump has done with the tariffs and the things that he's done with these illegal Mexicans. He's making things less affordable. Who do you think is building the houses? It's not these people here. It's these illegal Mexicans who are coming in to build houses.
Dude, you living in your New York bubble, man. You ain't out here in the rest of the country.
You know that we got 1 million black men.
Oh yeah, hold on. What state do you live in? Hold on.
I live in fucking Kansas, dude, in the middle of the country.
Kansas, you live in Kansas, and you think that
he knows how Ohio gonna be. He knows how Indiana gonna be. All the areas.
Yes, sir. We're getting 5,000 jobs from Seattle in the next 10 years in Wichita.
You think that Kansas has its finger on the pulse of America?
Yes.
The Midwest, yes. The Rust Belt. Nick, see, that's what I'm saying. You in your bubble, bro. You in your fucking bubble, bro. See, that's why nobody want an East Coast or West Coast candidate. Because we in the fucking bubble. We don't know how to
Florida, New York, Texas. Hold on. Florida, New York, Texas, and California could basically control every single election by ourselves if we really, really wanted to. And what we're doing is we're going to make things hell for the people who live here, and they're going to move to your state, and they're going to slowly turn it blue. That's our playbook.
Not true. Not true, brother.
Yeah, no, it is true.
It's not working that way, though. They just opened the Texas Stock Exchange. Guess what? In the next 10 years, the New York Stock Exchange is going to move to Dallas.
Well, Dallas, pardon me. But yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. The South is taking the cake. $1 trillion in left California.
You have
Like,
6
yo,
electoral
I'm
votes,
not
and I've got
optimistic
28.
about how the coast is looking, bro. I'm not
You
very
have 6
optimistic. That's why I'm
you have
checking in with
6
Fantastic to figure out what Florida looking like, nigga. Cause I need a new
My
crib,
bro,
nigga. What's
you-
happening? What's happening?
I'm
What's
sorry,
happening, nigga?
you've got-
appear on me.
You have
Because,
6
nigga, I need to find
electoral
somewhere to
votes. You have 6 electoral votes, and I've got 28.
It's either Houston, it's either Oklahoma, it's either Florida. I was thinking Atlanta, Georgia, but I'm like, nah, I can't do. I can't.
No,
do that.
Atlanta's on the downslide.
I ain't looking at it too crazy, but the South is definitely going to be on the come up, bro. Because I see trillions of dollars in capital leaving. Like you had E40 talking about a lot of our refineries that's in the Bay Area. He blaming Gavin Newsom. He said, "Man, Chevron left, homie. They done went to Houston. Chevron refinery done moved to Louisiana, Mobile, Alabama. Then you see Huntsville's coming up because they shifted 30,000 jobs from Colorado. Trump shifted 30,000 jobs from Colorado to Huntsville. Like the South is going to get its economic weight up, while the West and the East Coast, they're going to be looking stuck and stupid because they refuse to fucking move. You don't want to fucking move. That's some of the most.
I'm sorry. What state? What state do you live in?
Shit, I'm in Nevada right now, but I have a residence in LA. So I'm in my rental property right now, but my residence is still in LA. And if I leave, I'm scared that they're gonna hit me with a tax bill because they talking about taxes.
They are.
That's why I'm looking at it like, man, what the fuck is up with these Western and Eastern Coast states? I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. It's like escaping Los Angeles, bro. It's like escaping New York. And the funniest thing about it is, bro, I don't know what Mamdani gonna do when he got egg in his face, where the money then left, because you got Citadel Group leaving. And Citadel Group, they already left Chicago's headquarters because of Brandon Johnson. And Brandon Johnson was DSA light.
Yep. Starbucks just left Seattle. Guess where they're building?
Katie
Dallas.
Wilson, the mayor of Seattle, fucking up. No, the governor. No, the mayor, governor.
No, yeah,
I know
she's the mayor of
mayor
Seattle.
fucking up.
She's the mayor of Seattle. She's killing it.
Mayor fucking up. Seattle mayor fucking up, and y'all had Jay Inslee for like the longest time. He was like a third-term governor, liberal as fuck. Liberal is fuck.
So basically, all y'all are saying that Marco Rubio is the next president. That's what you're saying.
Most definitely, yes. I can put money up on that.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
I can.
You better be careful.
November,
You better be careful.
November, nigga. November, we gonna see. November, we gonna see.
Didn't Mondani just get
We gonna have
booed out of
Spanish. We gonna have Spanish commercials. Nothing but Spanish commercials. Then niggas gonna realize that open borders fucked you up, nigga. You allow everybody in the entire earth to come in your backyard, get food stamps, get benefits, and now your shit looking like LA. You fucked up. You
Didn't
fucked up.
Mondani just get booed out of Long Island?
Yeah, but that was just a bunch of Jews and Italians. They don't count.
What the fuck you mean they don't count? They got a ballot in their hand.
I want you listen. If you look at the
ballot in their
electoral
hand.
map of
Hold
on, excuse me.
That's how you
excuse
lose,
me.
bro. That's how
Excuse
you
me.
losing, bro.
If you look,
You
if
don't
you look
understand
at
that you
the
need everybody
electoral
to vote.
map,
You need
hold
everyone
on.
to
If
vote.
you look, excuse me.
You need
If you
everyone
look
to
at the
vote.
electoral, no, he didn't need everybody to vote.
All
That's
right,
why he's mad.
all right. I don't let y'all niggas argue enough, man. I appreciate it.
All right, man.
All right,
fantastic.
fantastic. Keep buying gold, man.
Yeah, yeah. I'm buying more, brother. Yeah, physical and paper as much as I can get.
You're buying more what?
Be rich.
Gold, brother, gold.
Yeah. You can buy gold. But also keep in mind credit
Oh, and
card
mining.
stocks, credit
Gold
card
mining stock
stocks.
too.
Listen, credit card stocks and bank stocks.
You got me. I'll hit you up, Chuck. I'll hit you up on the email or on the number.
Okay.
I bet.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Yeah. Hey man, appreciate y'all for coming through, man. It was a much bigger crowd than I expected, but please, people, please take heed. Again, remember, none of this is financial advice, but please, people, okay, start stocking up on shit, man, and start getting prepared, because whenever this shit happens, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna happen, and it's gonna be rough. So please be prepared, man. But anyway, Miss Fantastic 824 on all social media platforms, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hype the video. Good night. I'm out.